All right, listen. Producer Jake told us to come into this room, stand in front of the green screen, and to tell you, thank you for listening to the podcast. Thank you for watching our videos. Make sure you like and subscribe onto our page so whenever we put out new videos or new podcasts, you will get notified. Thank you very much.
Comment. You didn't say comment. You didn't say comment.
FOREPLAY, presented by Barstool Sports. We have a lot to get to. We are live from Bandon Dunes. This is episode part 2, I guess we'll call it, of our Bandon Dunes trip. We're defeated. We just got our absolute dicks kicked in by old MacDonald. It's been relentless wind the entire time.
Frankie's got ice on his knee.
Yeah,
Frankie.
we lost one member of our crew.
If you're watching on YouTube, you can see that Frankie has ice on a knee of his because
And
he's just injured.
He'll be pissed off and lashing out the whole podcast.
Oh, am I? You fucking blueberry.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Well done.
Exactly.
I carried you up the hill, man.
Did, man. Today was a joint effort into getting me through 18 holes of absolute battle. This was my Tiger Woods at Torrey Pines type of round. This was my flu game. Something happened to me. I don't know what it was. I was talking about the turf toe on Tuesday's show. This ground is a fucking bitch out here. And, I kind of laughed it off when we were talking about preparations and the hardness of the ground and just everything about it.
Grass is growing in concrete pretty much out here.
It's harder than I could ever imagine. It's insane. And, I had that turf toe issue. My feet were all slipping around in my shoes a little bit, and I wasn't tying my shoes correctly. And that got to me for the first 2 days. I was getting these shin splints and something about like just walking around a different way, trying to avoid them. I do sound like the boy who cried injury. It's tough. I've got the elbow issues, the arm issues. I've got turf toe,
shin
my
splints.
ankle, shin splints.
I like that. On the last podcast, you said, I think it's turf toe. And now
Beginnings
you've
of turf
decided
toe.
that it's just turf toe.
Dr. Frankie.
Yeah, it was the beginnings of turf toe, which I found out can't happen.
Okay.
So you have it or you don't.
Okay,
yeah.
man.
But here's the thing, though. This one's real. This one packs a punch. This one got me.
I will say,
met my maker when it comes to injuries. I complain about my elbow a lot. I complain about all these things, but I play through it. I've never missed a round with you guys. It's always just playing through it, and I just get over it because I'm just an unhealthy person. I'm skinny. I have no muscle mass, and I'm starting to break down a little bit. This one today was a problem. I will admit. Like, today was really bad, like nervously bad.
I didn't think you were going to make it past the second hole.
I couldn't bend my knee. I walked with a straight leg the entire day. We couldn't get a knee brace. And the story behind it really is that last night we were going to dinner. I showered, went back, powdered myself, pumped my nuts a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then I go...
Spread apart.
Yeah, I got torn apart in my room by myself. I just destroyed myself. And then I go and meet you guys downstairs for dinner, and I'm walking like, I had a little pep in my step. And I'm walking down the stairs, and like I took one step, and I was like, "Whoa!" It was like sirens went off in the back of my head. Sent a shockwave from my toes up to my fucking ear. I was like, "That wasn't good." And I told you guys immediately. I'm like, "There's something going on with my fucking leg here, boys. Like I don't know what it is. It's the back of my knee. It's not the front. Whenever I've had like knee issues, it'd be like the kneecap or something. Maybe it feels a little sore, and like maybe you gotta like pop it. You know that feeling of like you gotta like pop your knee." That was always like a common feeling. This is like back of the knee where your knee fucking bends. Oof. And it's like raw, and it feels like these strings are being pulled, and it's not good. So today I woke up thinking it was going to be better. I iced it. Actually, I didn't have any ice last night. I just put beer cans all over my bed. Ice cold beer cans and water cans, and thought that would do the trick. But
You're just kind of injury prone.
This one is bad. So I played 18 holes. We played today at old MacDonald, who had a little farm that really likes to fucking gust wind.
Yeah.
That's a motherfucker, old MacDonald. And it was bad, man. It was manageable for like 16 holes, and then I went on top of a hill to go hit a shot.
Did you just forget
for no reason.
What was the point of going up there?
It was, I don't know. The reason, well...
Instinct. He's a warrior, man.
I had like gotten through the day, so I was like, why can't I just get through this shot? Like there was never a shot all day that I didn't hit.
Right.
That was the only one that, and then I went up there, came down, and when I came down, the legs started getting hot, which was bad. I've read that that's really bad.
How much reading did you do last night?
A lot. A lot.
I don't read a lot. I think more in general than I would have ever guessed.
I do. I read a lot.
You said you've been reading about the
dogs.
The dogs?
Yeah, which Trent's just wrong about, but. To put a little bow tie on this, my legs hurt.
Yeah.
Really
It's interesting
badly.
because that on 17 yesterday, that's I think where the injury started, right?
Yeah. So 17 yesterday, and we're not going to give away what happened because we've had matches out here that have been very exciting.
Very
and
much.
On 17, I had this stance where it was almost like a baseball stance, and then we decided that, like, all right, I'll take like a 7-iron instead of like a 52. That was how short I was, or close I was, and like I did this baseball stance where my feet were completely like, because it was like a cliff of like dirt behind me, and my heels are basically hanging off. So if you can picture that, it's literally a hyperextension of the legs. And I made perfect contact, got onto the green, but maybe that's where it happened. I don't know.
Right.
I also don't know if it's a hyperextended knee. I don't.
No.
I'm diagnosing
No.
myself.
I will say, we were talking this morning. I've always considered you just the boy that cries wolf, but some of your injuries have really been validated. Like you're getting surgery on your elbow.
Right.
Like,
Been
you've
complaining on my
hurt
elbow.
before.
I've had a pinched nerve. The guy
Right.
said for years.
He's like going, he's like, Doc, just please tell me I need surgery.
Yeah.
I need
Right.
it so bad.
Like
You just need an
asking for
aspirin.
it.
I've been
Do the
complaining about
surgery.
my
Yeah.
fucking elbow for 2 years.
And this might be the worst place in the world to have a leg injury.
This is the worst injury I've had.
Yeah.
Probably ever. Like feeling it, like while trying to do an activity. This is the worst feeling I've had.
You're getting healed by a Truly.
I have a Truly on it and some ice in the worst Ziploc bag of all time. The lady gave me a Ziploc bag. It's got holes all over it. Ice and water.
No
just
way that
falling
was your
over it.
fault?
No.
6/injured Frankie he's an interesting guy.
Oh, yeah.
Who usually tends to you in these situations?
Yeah, my girlfriend. Well, she says I'm someone that she's never met before. When I have a little bit of a cold or
You're Michael Scott when he burns his
yes,
foot on the
exactly.
waffle.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, like when I had COVID, it was a problem. I was just like moaning, like they're like, shut up, like you're fine. And now the whole family's probably wondering what's gonna happen when I walk back in that house, if I can even walk.
Everybody's
back in.
just home, just gone.
Yeah.
Just nobody wants to be
What
around you return.
are the chances you play tomorrow? Percent chances.
So tomorrow we're playing Bandon Dunes, which is just
The course.
it's the album cover. This is the golf course. So I don't know how I'm gonna miss it, but we'll see. We have a 3:00 tee time. I have from now until 3:00 to get healthy. I don't think I will because of what I did today. I think I had to skip today to play tomorrow,
Or just not go on that hill.
or not go on that hill.
I believe they say the one thing you're not supposed to do when you have a hyperextended knee is to walk.
Yeah,
And you walked.
a lot.
it was supposed to be rest, ice, compression, and elevation. I did none of that.
There was no rest.
No rest, no ice.
You got
No
ice right now.
compression.
Another 18,000 steps, roughly.
Yeah, probably 18 to 22.
Is it painful right now?
Yeah.
Just sitting there with ice.
Mhm. Burning.
Today's
Oh.
round was awful. If
Old
we're being
MacDonald
serious.
packs a punch, man.
Yeah.
So today, so folks know, right, there's 5 18-hole courses at Bandon. Old MacDonald, I believe, is the third one I think the third one. Fourth that they put in. Old MacDonald is Tom Doak, and it's supposed to be 18 kind of holes from, templates from famous different holes. There's like a road hole, there's a Redan, there's all kinds of cool, there's a beer, there's all kinds of cool holes. But it's at before she brands, like as exposed of a piece of property as there is in the entire, at Bandon Dunes. And it was a wind emoji on the weather app.
Yeah.
Going into today. We saw it about 3 days ago. We're going to go. It had to be, I believe that the guys were saying probably sustained 30 to 35 mile an hour winds with gusts like around 40, which that's a tropical storm. That's like
Right.
when they panic about hurricanes and trees fall down and shit and houses get blown up. That's because of gale force winds. And we just played an entire round of golf in gale force winds today. And on a greens that are, I would say, if there's zero wind,
Unfair.
it's difficult to hold the greens and like get up and down, and you're putting from Jima, and then you factor in 30 to 40 mile an hour winds the entire day, and it was borderline 3 or 4 holes in. I think we were like, this just sucks.
Right.
Like
I
this
think by 12 I was like, probably time to go in. I think it was, we saw 13.
13, yeah.
And I was like, we should just make that 18.
not
And just
golf.
cover up those 2 little sides of the 3 there.
Let's
Make this
head in.
18. Yeah, just
For us,
enough's
it wasn't
enough.
golf. We weren't
No.
playing golf. Nothing we were doing was reminiscent of golf.
I think mentally I gave up for a couple holes there that got bad. So I apologize to my caddy. Jared, you were excellent out there. We had a couple foul ups.
Caddies
But-
are in the room, by the way.
Yeah, and they'll be
Got
on the
Dillon
show
and
later,
Jared.
so that'll be fun to chat with them a little bit about our games and whatnot. But yeah, I would say from the courses we played so far, that's my least favorite track that we've played. And just because I think, like, there's a lot of spots that there's nowhere to hit it. I mean, there's a par 3 that Jared, my caddy, was saying. He's like, yeah, you have to land it like 150 to like 152, and then it's got to have a little check spin downwind in order for it to hold the green. It's like,
You got that.
yeah, no, totally.
That's the hardest hole on the golf course by far, and Trent parred it.
Made a par on that hole.
You made it. I mean, you rolled it. You had a bunch of touch shots that were excellent. Getting close to pins today.
Yeah, it was a grind out there for sure, but I played well enough, at least on the back, that I don't have as sour a taste in my mouth as probably the rest of the crew.
Right.
No, you had it going.
Yeah, for a little bit there I did.
Yeah.
But it was still fucking brutal.
I didn't blade a wedge today.
Your wedge game, I don't know if
I almost killed Jake, but I didn't. But that was with a 4-iron.
Shit, man.
That was the 4-iron, but I did not blade a wedge today.
So Jake Bass was standing with his back to Frankie Borelli.
That was
This
the
is
shot
what
pre-hill.
This
That
is
was the
this
one
is the
last shot
that
you had.
led to
Yes.
whatever
Yes.
happened. Whatever. I was able to manage today up until that point.
Mm-hmm.
Myself and Lurch were probably 50 yards ahead of Frankie on the left, and he's hitting this 4-iron out of the rough on like a downhill side hill lie, and Jake Bass doing his job filming myself and Lurch's
Back
kind
to
of
me.
reaction back completely to Frankie, no clue. And, you know, it was probably 30 or 40 yards left of like your target, but with a weird lie like that in the wind and your knee, which we feel terrible about,
you. Appreciate
all
that.
banged up. Obviously, anything could happen. And, man, this ball, and Lurch said right before, he goes, Jake, I got a heads up for you just in case it's coming at you.
Right. I did.
He
I said that.
said right before, and Frankie hit just a classic low, hard, came out left missile that missed
Rising
Jake Bass
missile.
by
5 feet?
maybe.
Less.
4 feet?
Maybe.
4 feet head high.
It was a kill shot.
Screaming.
I didn't say it. And I tried to lock eyes with Jake and not say a word because I didn't want to scare him because I knew it was going to miss him. However,
Head high.
No.
Jake's
No,
tripping
waist high.
from the
Waist
Dick
high.
high, maybe?
seats.
Dick high?
Dick high.
Jared, that was close to head high, dude.
No.
They're laughing.
Bro,
But
we saw it from my
I
angle.
didn't-
It rose.
Trust me. I mean, we were close. I didn't say a word to Jake, and I tried to keep him calm. But then the screech that came from Frankie's region of
It was. I said it was basically
started-
happy look out.
and Jake scurried off in the right direction. Thank God, because I was like, Jake,
If he
I didn't.
moves right, it's over.
Oh yeah. So I was like, that's why I
Funeral.
didn't say anything because if you went the wrong direction in that second,
We
you're done.
felt it and heard it before we saw it.
Oh yeah, it was
It went
heavy.
like
That sizzle.
right next. Yeah,
Screaming.
it impacted the air around.
Right.
It was a serious missile.
We film a lot of golf videos for this golf podcast. That is by far the closest someone has come to dying.
Dying. Not getting hit, but dying.
Hold on. How about E-Bug the other day? Was that T? Was that
Yeah,
your
but
ball?
see, like that's like a bruise. Because
it was a driver.
I know, but like dude, this thing was coming in with speeds that are unmatched.
Yeah, it's different. I hit that drive and it was coming out of the sky pretty fast, but
Yeah.
I think it would have. Yeah, Bruce is right. Jake is. It's lights out.
Like people on PGA Tour get hit by those drives that kind of just like hit
One
them in
hop
the
or
shoulder, one
something,
hop.
too, sometimes.
What Jake avoided today was death. It was death.
Each day that we've come off the golf course and we've come back here, I've like scraped sand off my skull.
Today was the worst of that.
Yeah.
Every bunker shot into the wind, you were tasting sand
Went
and
into my
nibbling on
back,
grains of
actually, at one
sand for the
point.
next 3 holes.
Our Trent said he bit some today.
Well, I took a wave right to the face. Didn't have a chance to close
Dude,
my
I
eyes
saw
at
it.
all.
Your
And
glasses were painted in
They were
sand.
painted, and then when I went up to the green to putt, I thought I'd cleaned my mouth out, but as soon as I was about to putt, I bit on a piece of sand. So it was a really fun golf
It
course.
was like in your ears and shit.
yeah, it's just everywhere.
The wind blew the ball off Riggs' tee at one point.
Literally
that's- it
went
was
off the
just-
tee.
You know what's pretty amazing?
You assholes
though?
would go 1.
How little that happens. Because, like, think about the wind today and how insane that was. Like, these tees are made so well that it was actually holding onto the ball. I was looking down right before I hit my drive today, and I was thinking, like, how is this thing not flying off? My hat's flying off. Everything's flying off. But the
Head
ball's
covers.
perfect.
Dude, the caddies today, when they would drop a head cover, gone. They
one-
would start just rolling down the hill.
At one point, everything Jared owned exploded onto the green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His
everything
hat,
just hit the
glasses,
green.
The lenses out of the glasses.
Yeah, lenses came out of the plastic.
Just
eyewear.
looked over and like everything from his house,
It's a
his
yard
car was
sale.
just rolling off the green. It was really something.
Absolute yard sale.
So we got quite a bit to get to. We have choice comments from Brooks Koepka. We have Bryson and gearing up for the World Long Drive. We have Paul Azinger firing back a little bit about Brooks Koepka. We're going to get to all of that. First, we got to talk about Owen's mixers. I wish we had some Owen's mixers right now. Unfortunately, we do not. But it's Transfusion Thursday for those of you out there listening to this on Thursday, which makes sense because the show comes out on Thursday. And last year, like my mother, who listens usually Wednesday night. So, hello, Mother. Not a big drinker, but she has tried the transfusions without
Pepsi.
She likes Pepsi a lot.
She might be having a pep.
Loves Pepsi. Guarantee you she's having a nice ice-cold Pepsi. She gets Pepsi with extra ice whenever we go somewhere. She's like, Frankie,
I was with her. I
Just
could not believe how many Pepsi she was drinking.
loves Pepsi.
Yeah.
Owens mixers. So she has tried the Owens mixers because it's not alcoholic. Pouring with favorite liquor choice. Loves it. Says it's great. The transfusion. But we got all kinds of different flavors that you can get. Mint cucumber and lime. Lurch. Your favorites are grapefruit and lime.
Sure is.
Which makes what kind of cocktail?
A couple.
Okay.
You can either make a Greyhound
Okay.
or you can make the Paloma. Tequila or vodka. Your pick of what you want to mix
Is
in.
tequila your favorite liquor?
Yeah, it was vodka.
Mm-hmm.
Changed to tequila. So I'll drink a Paloma or I'll really drink just tequila straight with a bunch of limes.
Yeah, you ever notice any difference in your attitude or anything throughout the night from tequila to vodka?
No, I'm not like an angry drunk or anything
No,
like that.
definitely
That's
not.
what you're getting to.
No,
but
definitely not. But I would say I'm generally like...
I'm more energetic usually with tequila.
Me
like
too.
It keeps me going
I was
more.
going to say that.
It's definitely an upper where vodka kind of, I wouldn't say it's like more of a downer, but it's just like middle.
Yeah, it's like Russian.
Right. It's not like an IPA that, what?
Yeah, Russians like love vodka. It makes me
Right.
think of
I
like
didn't know.
Russians
I said
and, like,
middle, so I was like, Russia's
No,
not
but
so
downer,
much
it's
middle.
almost like cold, dark, vodka.
Yeah,
That's kind of what I think.
vodka's like a tough, like,
You
Siberia.
kind of said that like a Russian.
Give me vodka.
Vodka.
you like the people sitting on the cliffs that come here in the winter are having vodka and just miserable on this cliff.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's
Even
right.
mine,
Yeah.
I like vodka, so I mean.
No,
it's
me
great.
too. Vodka serves a great purpose, especially with transfusion.
It really does. OwensMixers.com. They got a little store locator on that website where you go check where they have Owens, and then you just go pick it up. Retail. You can also use Amazon. Great service. Very popular. They've generated a lot of revenue, a lot of money. 2-day shipping. Next day shipping, you can get it, and they'll just bring Owens right to you. So they got margarita now, which goes great. Obviously with tequila, all kinds of stuff, margarita mix. So big thanks to Owens Mixers. And then Thursday we sold out. We're having a little par 3 tourney of Ryder Cup week at the Baths, which is their par trade track. I think it's 10 holes. I think it's 10 holes.
Sold out in like 10 minutes. I don't know.
Sold out. It's going to be a great time. Big thanks to Owen. So you're going to be seeing us, baby. We're going to be putting out videos, hitting shots. Frankie will be hitting chips. Hopefully your leg will be okay by then.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
man.
we're rooting for you. Is it a long recovery time?
I don't know. I don't know what I have.
But you've been doing so much reading.
Yeah, I mean, when everyone knows when you start reading fucking WebMD.
Oh,
You're
dark.
dead.
Yeah, you're
Your
dead.
knee hurts, you're dead.
Oh, the back of your
That's
knee
it,
hurts and
reading.
it's moving to the front of the knee when you extend it. That's
Cancer in your knee.
Cancer.
It's like, cool.
Oh, your like toenails grow back like every week and a half. That's probably cancer.
Right. Anything.
Yeah.
Normal bodily function.
I swear, I think that it's true that it's almost like a 6 degrees of separation where like you know someone who knows someone. You could always find whatever you're feeling and lead back to cancer on WebMD. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No matter
that's true.
what, no matter
That's why that
what you
reading
have.
just does not help you.
No, it doesn't.
Just go with.
Well,
Was
here
it
we go.
rice?
What's up, Doc? I'll explain exactly what's happening. The back of my leg, where it bends, the raw part is in fucking pain. I can't just like bend my knee and walk like a normal person. I can't go toe to heel or heel to toe and walk like a normal person. And yeah, I mean, when I do that, the pain then goes into my front of my knee, like under the kneecap, and it fucking sends a shivering pain on my body.
This sounds horrible.
Horrible.
Yeah, you were kind of doing the open hip walk today.
Yep.
And just like dragging it along a little bit.
There was a time where I was actually able to walk for a little bit, and then I went up that hill. So,
Owens Mixers.
Owens mixers.
Owens Mixers is great.
If you got an injury, sometimes have Owens. You know, mix it with your favorite.
Help a little bit.
Yeah.
Oy.
So since the last time we did the show, we have played Sheep Ranch, which is the newest course, just opened last year, and we have played Old MacDonald. We should bring the caddies on. We're going to bring Dylan and Jared
Come
over.
on down.
Dylan, the
Jared and
blindest caddy on
So,
the planet.
Dylan has been referenced before on the podcast. Dylan, Lurch and myself met him at Cabot 3 years ago, 2018 maybe?
Sounds right. Yeah, I mean,
Somewhere around there.
I called into the pod too when you did that caddy show.
Oh, that's right. You did call into the show. And then Jared, you've been here for what, 9 years? 5 years? I just threw a random number out.
Yeah.
Feel free to speak into the mic.
Yeah, Mike's fine.
No, it's okay. It's a learning curve.
yeah.
There you go. So Dylan, like I said, Dylan's blind, right? Do you know what your vision is actually?
No, it's not good. I mean, I know that.
So can't see anything. He does. He's
You
the
wear
guy
glasses?
I have glasses. I wear them in class, but that's it. Yeah.
Why wouldn't you wear them on the golf course?
Because I feel like it would mess with my reads. Because I feel like I read
So
it
take
well,
them off when you read
No, but
the
you would
glasses?
see like better, right?
I know. I'm
That's
with
what
you.
glasses
I
do.
am with you. I'm like, yeah. I'm just nervous.
What
I'm
would
nervous
you
to
say
switch.
is the percentage of your job that needs vision? Right, like
99%.
99% of Dylan's job requires
Correct. Yeah.
like precise, excellent 20/20 vision, and he's got none of it.
Where'd that one end up? That's what every player says all day. Yo, Dylan, where'd that one end up?
Yeah, we
He
good?
doesn't know. He can't
We good
see
there?
anything.
Did we clear the bunker? He
He
literally says, "I don't know." It's
as soon as we hit the ball, he pulls out the rangefinder and tries to find it.
I need
in
the
this
laser to
which,
find it.
by the
which is
way,
just glasses.
How difficult is it to track the ball with a rangefinder? That's
I've got. I mean, this is my 7th summer caddying, so I've gotten pretty good at it.
But those are just glasses. They're just like a little bit better glasses, right? Like the idea of you like putting a piece of glass in front of your eye to see where the ball's landing. Like those are just bifocals.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
He's heard this before.
I'm with you.
Question,
Yeah,
Dylan.
no, yeah.
Have you ever had a guest, a player, like kick you off the course because you're blind?
No, nothing,
right.
not yet.
All right,
I mean,
that's good.
not
You're a
yet.
good caddy. There's nothing against that. It's just you're
Appreciate that,
blind.
Appreciate that.
Great
yeah,
caddy.
just can't see.
Jared's a fantastic caddy.
So then, obviously, because Dylan, with everything going on, people can't get to Cabot. Cabot hasn't been as busy, whatever, and you're a hard worker. You've been at Bandon Dunes for a year, basically.
5.5 months.
So this whole season.
Yeah.
All right. Are we spot on with so Old MacDonald? Old MacDonald we played today. Let's get that because it's fresh in our minds. I think we all have a pretty negative taste in our mouth, except maybe Trent, who played decently well out there. Pretty controversial track, right? People.
Yeah, it's hit or miss.
Polarizing,
Hit or
I guess,
miss.
not
Very
controversial.
polarizing is the perfect word. Yeah, it's hit or miss.
Do a lot of people do what we did, walk off and be like, "This, what the fuck was that?"
Yeah, I mean, any day. Yeah, when it's blown like this is a windy day for Bandon. Bandon's always windy. Today was windy for Bandon. So I mean, you guys, I would say you guys overstated the wind on Pack the other day, but today it was blowing.
It was a wind emoji.
It was tough out there.
We wake up and there's just
If there's a wind emoji, you know it's gonna be blowing.
That's right.
That's how.
That's right. And in that wind, I mean, that course is borderline unplayable on the wind. Like
correct.
With
Yeah,
those
I mean,
greens,
it's,
right?
Yeah. It's
Are we're not overstating that. We're not. Just being
no.
little
It's a
bitches.
tough golf course. It is a tough golf.
All right.
Jared, talk to us about
Jared, speak
when
up,
you
'cause
gave
don't believe it.
when you gave that 150. You got to land at 150, and it can't go more than 152. Like I've never seen a golf course that required that.
Right. Well, especially that hole. I mean, that hole is like
What hole are we talking
we're
about?
talking about 12 at Old Mac, and that's probably the hardest golf shot in the entire resort, approach wise.
Except for Trent.
Yeah, Trent May Park.
Fair.
Yeah, because the green, it's a
but
redan.
I mean,
so it runs away
It's
from you.
it's a redan,
Quote unquote. He did the fingers.
right? Like, it's a redan, but you have nowhere to
What do
land
they,
the ball.
what do
like,
they say in
nowhere.
Austin Powers?
I mean, you hit a
Laser.
A laser. Yeah.
like Trent hit a great shot. He still went. I know you made par, but you still went off the back.
I did, yeah.
And you hit an unbelievable shot. I think it was Lurch that hit a pretty decent shot too, and he was like 20 feet short left of you, and you guys were 80 yards apart. Right. So the landing zone
Right.
was just absolutely, it's tiny.
In your words, what makes Old Mac so difficult for the average player? I mean, we're kind of talking about it now, but how would you kind of put it all together?
Well, it's just mainly ball flight. Like how do you flight a shot well enough all day?
Right.
So I mean, we had a few times where a $150 out and we're hitting 5-4
Right. It's insane.
hybrids.
Right.
But it's all about ball flight. And
Yeah, there was a 350-yard par 4 today where we all went driver, 3-wood, or hybrid.
yeah.
350-yard hole.
Yeah.
And I think kind of what he's referencing is on a no-win day, because of the greens and because of the undulations and all that stuff, you have to bring these, because he was saying that to me, you need to come in from right to left to even have a chance at holding this green. And now when you take that swing, which is we don't do shit like that.
Never.
I don't bring balls in from any side. I hit the ball, and I hope it goes on the green.
That's right.
I said that to him a couple times. I'm like, let's just get this thing in the air.
Yeah.
I'm not. What you're talking to me about? What door on the house I got to enter? That's insane. Let's get this thing in the home. So when you add wind to that, man, I mean, it's just, it's virtually an impossible task.
And I mean, ball flighting there is just absolutely miserable.
Yeah, proved to
most
be
of the day.
impossible for this.
Yeah,
room.
I mean,
Yeah.
even like
nobody
Lurch. I mean,
was-
you have a great ball flight for this kind of area, like with this wind and everything. And how hard was it today?
Today, yeah, it was just like there was a couple greens that I just thought were honestly like kind of unfair. Like there was nowhere to land the golf ball.
No.
And I mean, it's a challenge. Like that would be like I think I was talking to maybe Trent and then also Riggs of like if you took, a Rory McIlroy or somebody like that on a course like this, I would just love to watch them play it.
Right.
Because when you talk about flighting shots and angles and moving balls left and right and how they would come into greens, I would just love to see them think about that because I was standing over golf balls like, well, I'll just like throw it up there and wherever it lands. Like my expectations were so low that it wasn't, I would love to be on part of the green. It was just like, as long as we're closer with the next one, it's a success. So we'll just be closer. And it's exhausting. So by 13, 14, I was like, all right, I'm good. Like I've seen old Mac.
There
This
were
is what it
shots
is, but I'm
where,
done.
because the greens are so firm and the wind is so intense, that if the wind was a little bit cross at all, and you landed the ball right next to the pin, it would end up either 40 or 50 feet, or a lot of times ripping off the green down a crazy slope, and you have 30 or 40 yards. Like, and it would land right next to the pin because it would come in so hot based on the wind. And so I just think like that. You just have to kind of, and I think that we all eventually got to this point because every round of golf you go into, you're thinking like, today's my day, baby. I'm going to post a score. We're having a good 4 or 5 holes in. I think we all at least were like, all right, this is like nothing matters today. Like,
It was that par 5. What hole's the par 5 that in the wind?
yeah,
The first one?
Yeah.
5th hole or something.
6.
Yeah.
That was a par 7.
I'd say par 9.
Yeah.
Par 8 or 9. I made par then, yeah.
Yeah.
Not to give
par
anything away
8
on
or
the video,
9.
but I made par then. It's a par 9. It seemed like we just couldn't get there ever.
No.
I mean, all day to get there.
You boys took like a break after 7. After
7th hole.
7, you guys just like sat down, had lunch, and just like there's a picnic table there. I'd never seen the picnic table. I never knew it was there. You guys just like sat down, had lunch, just like trying to regroup, trying to get it back.
They need to put
It
like
was
15
hilarious.
minutes tables
There.
up there.
Me and
Somebody
Heeman-
said there too. They go, "What was that? 11 holes or something?" Like, it was 7.
Me and Heeman,
Jesus.
me and Heeman were just like waiting. I was like, I never knew there was even a picnic table. Like we're just on the tee waiting for
We
you
didn't
boys.
even
It's just
discuss
like
it. We
was
just all
was-
collectively, telepathically,
Yeah,
were
just
like,
like-
"It's time."
Yeah.
to
I
fill
felt
up.
like we were making the turn. I would, if you had asked me in that moment, I'd been like, yeah, we're making the turn.
We took like a 25-minute lunch break.
It was absurd.
In the
It
middle
was
of
just
the
a
round.
perfect time to sit. That's what it was. It was like after what we just went through, it was a time to sit.
I don't even think we talked to each other. We just sat there.
7
eating.
holes in. I mean, it wasn't.
How hard is the wind making to read these greens too? How many times today did we have things where it was like, all right, yeah, it usually goes right to left, but this is going to be left to right because of how hard the wind is gusting.
Right. Well, I mean, you said like, especially on the 10th hole. I don't want to give too much away either.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Lurch hit a putt, absolutely snapped the cup. So I gave you more, and
Right.
it did nothing.
Right.
And so you're like, reading the wind. It's like a
You're like
guessing
Dylan
game.
out
You
there,
never
you're just
win.
blind.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
I
You
don't
have
know
no
how-
clue.
I don't know how this guy does.
I noticed
Honest
too,
to God, I had no idea.
how you hit your putts gets absolutely magnified by the wind.
Right.
Like I cut my putts. I know that. Like I just know that my putts have a little bit of left to right spin.
Right.
And the putts that I would notice, like other guys that hit it a little different. Like if we had wind where the wind was off the left, mine would get absolutely dominated by the wind and
Yeah.
break a lot more than like others. Like I could literally just see that happen.
I think that's true for all swings, not just putts.
Big time.
I have spinny like hybrid shots. Like my balls go left, they go right, and then in the wind, my goodness, they just go straight, and it's like Roadrunner in like a cartoon. It's like "Derp, meep, meep," and he just goes right, just fucking boom, and you're like, I can't believe what I'm seeing right now. And then the caddies will be like, yeah, it's just magnified whatever just happened. It's like you have that right spin, it's just going to be a billion times more.
So it was fun. We had such a good time out there, really, at Old Mac.
Yeah.
Look, we're splitting hairs a little bit, right? The course is like, it's spectacular. It's like cool, but it was it was hard to be at moments like, wow, this is so fun and relaxing and enjoyable because it was just a war. Like the whole thing was a war.
Yeah, if Augusta National had that type of wind, I don't think I'd enjoy it.
Right.
It was that bad.
Right. And
I
then these
think
guys
that's
are
right.
like, yeah, people come back every year and play 36 holes a day. And it's like, is a part of them like, I don't like this, you know?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, like the 22nd hole, they got to just be like, this is not fun.
Right.
I fucked up coming back out here.
Well, yeah, I think golf's like a sickness. It's like it's a humbling game. It makes you like, and then this is that place to the 10th degree. I mean, today's round was just you couldn't get it going. There was no way to get it going. You just like I'm gonna struggle, and yeah, that's the part that sucked is because there was no way to find like real success. Like it didn't feel like you were ever able to get on a run that felt like, all right, I think I could make a couple pars here because of the way I'm hitting it. You just throw it up there and then hope and guess, and then it's going the right way. I mean,
all day.
And then putting is putting. The whole thing stunk today, in my opinion.
What's your guys? So let's talk a little bit more about the rest of
pass me that wine real quick.
The rest of the resort. Each of your favorite courses, why? Talk a little bit about the other courses because we didn't get you guys the other day.
Yeah, I mean, for you guys like hit trails pretty good. I know you guys all loved it. It's crazy to me still how many people skip trails. Like, it's absurd. Like,
that happens often.
It drives me up the wall. Just
because it's not on the water?
It's not on the water, and they'll come in, they'll play Bandon 3 times. And I'm like, listen, I know you like Bandon, cool, but like trails is the best course here, in my opinion. I think most caddies would say trails or Bandon. For me, it's trails, and it's not really that close for me.
Yeah, you said that
Trails
the first day we were
Trails
there.
is so good. People sleep on it, man, just because it's not on the water. But man, every hole out there is just so good.
It was hard for me when you said that because it was my first time ever at Bandon and first time in Oregon. So when Dylan said that to us when we were at Trails, our first experience, it was hard for me to even realize what he was saying because like in my head, you have all these other like monsters waiting. Like you have Bandon, you got Pack, you've got like Old Mac and all these things, and you're like, that can't be true. Like this is Bandon Dunes. We're not at Bandon Dunes right now. We're in the trees. And now after playing a couple of the holes, like a couple of the courses, Trails just keeps like getting better and better as you play the other ones. Because like once you're on the cliffs, especially at a place like this where like it's all the same cliffs, it's all the same ocean, it's all the same like terrain, and it feels very similar. It's like once you've seen one of them, you've seen them all almost. Once you've seen one of those water holes, you're like, all right, yeah, like we're gonna do this like 45 more times like for the rest of the week. But Trails is like a golf course. It's different.
Yeah, when I think golf, I think like Augusta. I don't think St. Andrews.
Right.
So Trails I don't know. I love Trails.
Yeah,
Every hole
I
out there
agree
is
with
so
that.
good. Every hole is so good.
It does. You're right, Frankie, in that like Trails continues to stand out more and more because it's so different than the other 4.
I was looking back at my pictures, and Trails is just fucking crazy how nice it was. Even like the first couple holes are Bandon Dunes.
Right.
So it's not like you're not getting any Bandon Dunes in it. It's just it's its own world out there, which is really cool because the other places are not its own world. They're a part of this just coastline, hard panned, wind is in your fucking nose holes type of world. It's like a snow globe that you're getting shaken in the whole day.
So like, how would you guys rate the courses so far?
It's hard without Bandon.
There's only 4, but I know, but through 4, where are you guys going?
I would go in my head so far the 4 that we've played. I'm gonna go Trails 1, Pacific 2. Sheep and Old Mac are kind of like tied for me in 3rd and 4th.
I would say Trails. I really like Trails too. Something about seeing all those trees, and we talked a lot about the trees when we were walking it. Just, I really like those really tall trees, and the views were spectacular. 2, Sheep Ranch, because I played well. Definitely. And that has it weighs in big time.
It's awesome. It's cool.
And it has no bunkers, so that probably should have been number 1. But I did like Trails a lot. 3, Pacific Dunes, and then Old Mac 4 because it beat the shit out of us today, and it was just pretty mean.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Frank.
I'll go number 1 Pacific Dunes because that's what I think of when I think of Bandon Dunes.
After that whole thing, you just went with Pacific first.
But
such
number
a
2 is got to be Trails. Like, I mean, and I didn't think that was going to happen at all. Like,
Yeah.
I would think, like, and even if I don't play or I play Bandon tomorrow, I still think that's going to be my number 1 and 2. And I think because my brain, like, Pacific Dunes is what I was waiting to see when I came because that was Bandon to me. Like, that's what I was waiting to see. And it was awesome. Like, I played well. I enjoyed the views. Like, there were a lot of pictures being taken. That was, like, Bandon to me. That was awesome. Like,
Pacific is awesome.
I mean, it's hard to find a better golf course
Yeah.
in my mind, like, what I like than Pacific. Like, there were multiple times at Pacific where I was like, this is just, like, Pebble. I mean, this is crazy. There's holes out here that are fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it's Sheep Ranch 3, which also was surprisingly incredible. incredible. But I think the no bunkers were stupid because they have these grassy bunkers, and to me, I thought that was gonna be dumb. I didn't enjoy that.
It's gonna be dumb.
That's part of the injury coming out.
Yeah, fucking stupid. Whoever designed that shit was dumb.
And you were even saying that you think that because I obviously made a big deal about there being no bunkers, and then when you
I was
saw,
also trying to get in your head for the match.
yeah, oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were saying like, oh, it's probably going to be just as hard to hit out of the
Well,
grass.
you were like, oh, I can't wait to play Sheep Ranch. There's no bunkers. And I was like, man, I can't have this guy have this type of confidence. So I was like, I think they're like harder than bunkers. I think
You were, man. Early, you kept saying that.
I was
You
getting
kept being
mad.
like, look at
You
these
were.
lives you're gonna get in here. And we were like, it's just grass.
Yeah, that's like the hardest sell in the world. That like grass is harder
Yeah.
than the bunker. I mean, that's
Right.
just
But
the
for me
toughest sell. That's like
personally-
the toughest sell in
for
the
me
world.
personally, a greenside grass bunker is far and away harder than a,
Yeah,
than a,
because
than
you-
a sand
yeah,
one because I
butter
can't.
knives, but-
Right, I can't hit a fucking wedge. And then to finish off my rankings, Old MacDonald is 17.
We've only played 4.
Right? There's only 5.
Oh yeah.
So.
I will say Old Mac, when I first saw it the first time, like I've only been here, 6 months or so, but it does, like the more you see it, it grows on you for sure. It's one of those courses you have to play a bunch to really
Yeah.
appreciate how, and you guys just got smoked. I mean, today's just the worst. But if you're out there at 7 a.m., no wind, you can appreciate it a little
It's a
better.
morning course. If someone's gonna come and book a trip, you should see all the
Highly
courses.
recommend.
I 100% agree
100
with that.
could
But
not-
I think
yeah.
you do, if you're gonna do like 36 in a day, you do trails in the afternoon because wind doesn't really matter as much there, and you make sure
Sheep and
Old
Old
Mac and Sheep are morning rounds.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if we had that win that we had
Yeah.
today at Sheep, we'd be like, that course is.
Would have been.
Right.
They were saying it was even worse. It's got to be worse at Sheep.
Sheep.
worse.
Yeah, today was
sure,
tough. It would have been blown more at
Sheep
Sheep
would have been
for sure.
an extra 7 to 10.
You guys know anything about?
Yeah. I would say, nobody's talking about the par 3 course.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, is that one? Preserve is like.
See, to me, it's just different. I can't.
so-
I can't,
no,
I
I
can't-
know, but
I
like-
can't put it in. But like,
I agree,
it's,
but that
it's
place-
awesome. It's
number
awesome.
one in the par 3 world.
Yeah, it's
Correct.
the number one par 3 in the world, for sure.
like undeniable.
it's second to the cradle.
I
But yeah, it's
appreciate it.
great.
I don't think anyone's actually ever come on talked about the preserve like
The
that.
Preserve is.
That's
We
huge,
also
like-
caught it, and then a lot of, our
Sure.
rankings are
Sure.
so subjective.
When you're
too.
on the Preserve, in your mind, it's the best golf course in the world.
Right.
Yes, that's
It
a
is.
good way to. That's a good way to.
When we were there, it
Unbelievable.
was not to be believed. Like, every view was better than the next, and the last one was the most.
Like,
Well,
what
the
would you
holes are
change? Like,
sick.
when you're
Some
on
of the best holes on property are on preserve.
Yes.
when you're on the tee
Yeah.
box, like what would you change about any
No,
of it?
nothing.
So it's perfect.
Yeah. Yes.
Like I would just stop the sun
Yeah.
from like going
It's
away.
a
I would
perfect
make it,
golf
like,
course,
just
but it's
stay
a par
there.
3.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Awesome.
So I would say, I actually think Sheep was probably my number one course.
Okay.
I loved it.
not putting it number 1.
And then
I do.
Trails and Pacific Dunes are about tied for me. I would probably give Pacific Dunes then Trails, but that's close. That could be flip flopped. And then Old Mac is
For the birds.
you can. I mean, yeah.
Tell him to
it's
go back
just-
to his farm.
Right, and if you're going to get a
I've made
windy
that
day,
joke
you're
twice.
going to get killed. And today was just one of those days at Old Mac. Like, I do think that it could grow on me. Like, if I played it in the morning, I think it could be really fun. Just wind in some of those green complexes. I was like, this is a joke. Like, you're hitting a wedge up into the sky. It's downwind. There's going to be no spin on it. There's nowhere to really lound it, and it's just going to
What? What was that?
Lound it.
Lound it.
What's a
Lound
lound?
I think Dylan's rubbing off on you. That
There's
was very
no way to
Canadian.
really
of you.
lound it.
Can I say something about Old Mac though?
Yeah,
Yeah,
always.
Because
Defend it.
so
Do
it's,
it.
It's,
Yeah.
it's probably my favorite to play. Now, Trails is my favorite golf
But
course.
you're
What are you,
good. Remember,
what are you, a
played D1
masochist?
golf, so it's different for you.
But no. I
wear a
played Old
chastity
Mac
belt?
probably 150 times. Okay, so like Dylan's saying, like you play it more, you respect it more, you appreciate it more. You kind of hit. Think about this. There are 6.3 acres of green at that golf course.
That's
When you
nuts.
think about
should
like
cut
there's
that
nowhere to
down.
land the ball. There's 6.3 acres of green.
I hate
complex.
putting, remember.
So
You know?
there
It
is
is
place
less
to land the
green.
ball. You just have to play that course so many times to understand where I gotta miss all the time.
I would
So-
say I don't hate it. Like I feel like some people here hate it. I like it, but it's just I don't think it's as good as the other.
Off the
I
tee, it was
understand. I
actually
understand.
really
Yeah, yeah.
cool. I actually had a
Cool.
lot
The
of
reveal
fun
on
today
two
off
was
the tee.
incredible, too.
Like
Three?
I thought
On
there was a
three,
lot of
Three,
cool
so
yeah,
places
the
to
ghost
land
tree
the
hole,
ball.
awesome hole.
There's a lot of fun places to land the ball off
Yeah.
the tee. Like you like aim way right, it like kicks left, avoids bunkers. Like you can get there's all these chutes that you can find. It definitely was fun for that. Like every time I had an iron in my hand, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. But off the tee and putting was a lot of fun.
Right.
It felt like standing there with an iron in your hand. It was a 0.0% chance you were gonna hit it on the green,
Totally.
and like we never did.
I did not hit a green today with an iron.
I will say like it's probably 4 or 5 for me if I'm like ranking them. But I think it's I think anyone
Must
comes out
play.
here, if you have enough time, you have to play them all. I hate people that skip
I agree
one.
with that.
Yeah, I think you got to play them all.
People that double dip on or even triple on some of them and just skip other. I think they're insane.
Yeah, like if I came
insane.
back with just like a pure buddies trip next year, I'm playing all of them.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know, like I don't think any of them are skippable.
No, definitely not.
But you can't do the afternoon.
No,
I
it's
think at Old
world
Man.
class golf on this peninsula. It's like splitting hairs in terms of the ranking, but
Yeah,
and it's also when we catch the day. Like Trent's like, oh, I like this course because I played well at Sheep Ranch. Sheep Ranch.
Keeps adding an ass.
He was
Huh?
doing that to drive me crazy earlier,
Walmart's.
and it made me
Walmart's, Barstools.
Oh,
deers, deers,
But it's obviously.
deers,
What did you say?
deers,
Deers.
deers.
I got the new iPhones. The new Apples came out. What was that?
Apple's
Grandma?
came out with a new iPhone.
I went over to Apple's.
They good Honeycrisp.
It's a huge old man move to do that. Barstools.
Oh yeah, big time.
You guys work at Barstools? Sheep's Ranch?
Frankie, I went to T-Mobile's.
He's so angry.
I'll say this.
Frankie.
You're doing well,
He's
Frank.
miserable, but that's because he's got a broken knee.
But like if y'all would have
I
played,
think a part of him likes to be like pampered. like
Totally,
this.
he loves this.
Can you go get me a water?
Not a shot.
I'll say this: that my first time here, I remember my rankings. Old Mac was number 2, and we played it at like 7:30 a.m.
right?
And when we came off, we were like, "That was awesome! Like that was so cool and different and unique," and we were all fired up about it. But the last 2 times, I've played it 3 times total, I guess. The last 2 times, both times, I walked off being like, "Never again."
Yeah.
Like fuck that.
Gonna put some
It's
ice
just
on.
not really
Well,
golf.
no.
And like to your
get
point,
loud.
like if we would have played Sheep Ranch yesterday with this wind, you guys probably would have had a different view on Sheep Ranch.
Yeah.
Right? If we would have played Old Mac yesterday with yesterday's wind, probably would have had a totally different vibe.
Right.
So like it totally is wind based mainly, but like I'm telling you, like come back, don't throw Old Mac
And are
2
we-
down because it is a great golf course.
It's also recency bias. We're like upset
Right,
and
and are we-
sad. And
Right.
Are we babies in the fact that like 1 out of 10? What was today's win for Bandon?
No, I mean like Dylan was right. Like today was windy for Bandon. Like,
Right,
it
but
was
is that
I
a
would
6
I would
or
say
a
I would say
7?
7. I would say 7.
Seven
I would say
yards.
7?
Yeah,
No, but
we're
as in, but like
Yeah.
as in 10, but 10 like 10 would be unplayable.
10 is unplayable.
10 is
which
unplayable.
we've had
I'll give you
plenty of
I'll give
time.
you a
Alright,
7.
so like
7,
that's
7 and a
not
half
that,
maybe.
I don't like that scale because like no,
Okay.
like where like what's the scale of like you're playing golf?
No, it's still 7 and a half. I mean 10 would be like a
yeah,
minor
so
hurricane.
9.9 you're playing.
Correct.
10 unplayable.
Yeah.
Right.
That's insane that
Right.
it can go more
I mean,
than
you
that.
saw the yard sale.
It was only it was I mean it was 30. It was 30. Like 30's a lot, but like 30's not that crazy.
It was consistent 30.
Right.
Consistent 30, but I mean it gets worse here.
I mean, we've had
I don't.
60
What would
sheep.
50 feel like out there?
It's not play. You can't stand.
Can't even get the swing.
You can't. No, it's not golf at that point.
You guys know
Just
anything
you'll-
about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency?
I do, yeah. I own some.
That doesn't
Our
mean you
caddies
know
are
anything
just
about it.
loaded, just
Yeah.
involved.
Cocky little fucking answer from Dylan
Yeah,
there.
no, I just took your caddy money and I bought a bunch of Bitcoin. What do you want from me?
Some multiple bitcoins.
No, I don't own Bit. I own
Okay, I got you.
Dogecoin.
Well, you're Doge.
You're a
Ooh.
Doge guy. Okay.
Yeah, I mean
Well,
a
for
shit ton of money too.
People out there that don't know anything about crypto,
All of us.
everyone in this room, even
That's
these
me.
fucking idiots over here who are like,
I watched
yeah,
a funny
know."
video today about Bitcoin.
Oh, I
don't know
bought
where it
something,
was.
so I know everything about it. Okay.
Oh, it was on this like account, this pizza account. I follow a bunch of pizza accounts, and one of them was this dude back in like I don't know 2002 or whatever, like had a bunch of Bitcoin, and it was worth literally nothing. It was worth $0.00, and he had like 10,000 Bitcoin, and he called the pizza place and was like, would you guys want this like type of currency? Like I'll exchange it for a pizza. Like he didn't have any cash, so he sent the fucking like delivery guy like 10,000 Bitcoin or 15,000 Bitcoin, and it was worth like. And the way the guys interviewing him, they're like sitting down in legitimately an interview at like ABC Studios, and the guy's like, "What's that worth today?" And the guy's like, that's about $85 million.
Yeah.
85 million he gave away for a pizza, a cheese pizza, one cheese pizza.
Top. By the way, I had the pizza here. It was delicious the other day.
Yeah.
Modern Finance is the crypto show for novice and expert alike. You don't know anything about crypto just because you bought a coin.
I got a decent feel.
Right, like,
I got a decent feel.
If I buy an iPhone, I don't know anything about it, like how it's made. I don't know anything about that.
I got a decent feel.
As well as you can see.
Modern Finance offers 2 shows on a single podcast feed. One weekly consensus episode that explores weekly news and distills it into digestible information, and then deeper interviews with individual crypto founders and NFT artists. What do you know about NFTs?
I understand the concept. I'm not. Yeah.
This guy.
Don't let your crypto guy friend. Here we go. It's in the ad copy. Don't let your crypto guy friend be the life of the party.
Perfect.
That was perfect.
Set you right up.
Yeah, that was money.
Woohoo! The financial landscape is harder than ever to navigate, but you don't have to do it alone. Download and subscribe to Modern Finance wherever you listen to podcasts. 10 years ago, some people called cryptocurrency a scam. 5 years ago, people thought it was a fad. Now it's already over $1 trillion market and growing. The Modern Finance podcast helps you make sense of all the coins, NFTs, and chaos. Now is the time to equip yourself with the knowledge of where things are going. Again, download and subscribe to Modern Finance wherever you listen to podcasts. What do you think about our matches so far in our games? We're not going to reveal the results, but in general, about what you guys expected. Dylan, you've obviously seen me and Ben play quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I got a pretty good feel for both you boys. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's been tough. I mean, it's just been so windy.
Do you see a lot of people go out and shoot way higher than?
Yeah,
handicap?
nobody shoots. You know, like I always talk with guys, like a lot of the caddies here. It's just like their game travels better than anybody. Because if you're a 2 here, you're like a +2 anywhere else. Do you know what I mean? At least.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
like if you're whatever your handicap here is at Bandon, like your game just travels way better. You know, we see a lot of guys come out and they're like, yeah, I'm a 4, and it's like, well, you know, they can't break 90. It's because they just don't. You know, 4 is their local muni. It's just so different out here.
What would you say the average score shot on your bag is?
Yeah, I would say
90?
right around 90.
Oh, really? So
What
that's
a
pretty good
caddy
golfers.
ranking system that would be if like they were attached to the gin and what you shot over par that would be, your guy Dylan would be not hireable.
What the
Oh,
fuck
he'd
did
be
you
good.
say? What did you say?
So you're saying it's?
I didn't understand. I just laughed.
I think maybe I don't understand.
So like your
Explain it
standard
to me like I'm
deviation
5.
is like you're what at Riggs? What's your handicap?
Like a 3 right now?
3.
2.5,
Okay.
3.
So Dylan picks up your bag. He associates himself with a 3 handicap. When you shoot and, you know, play is an 11 handicap that day,
Yeah.
that associates with Dylan. Now Dylan picks up an 11 handicapper's bag and they shoot as a 30 handicap that day. You start stack ranking caddies associated with that bag. You know what I'm saying?
Bandon caddies would struggle with that system.
Oh,
for
you'd
sure.
get screwed
we'd
because
get-
that's just a
yeah.
Right.
part
But-
of the property.
Yeah.
But I've seen you enough now that I know that you don't have
I
eyes.
will say though, if you get a does not have
He
eyes.
has eyes, they
Dylan's
just
a
don't
good
work.
caddy. I just like playing with him.
But if you have, I've also seen not only like, you know, like he's saying 3 handicaps might shoot, you know, be 8 to 15 handicaps here. Also, 25 handicaps can be 15 here as well. Like if you, like I've
Right.
seen a lot of guys' career, their life here.
Higher handicap.
I've had a lot of career guys in the morning, like
Right.
early morning. I mean, all these courts, it's a resort golf. Like, anyway, even trails with the trees, it's still, you know, they give you a lot of room out there. If you miss, it's hard to lose golf balls like on all these 5 courses. So in the mornings, I've had a lot of guys career.
And so what's a little tough, right, is we're filming, and in order we need like a gap, you know. So they've been booking us like afternoon tee times every day, which is awesome. But we've played in for us what we would consider severe wind every day.
Yes.
Like even at Sheep, it was moderate,
even
maybe a
trails,
3,
even trails.
Like
Yeah.
it was for us severe wind.
Yep.
Like 4 or 5 clubs a lot of times.
Criminal.
Different winds. And like I'm talking, I mean, we all today 180 out. We're all hitting pretty much everything you got. 3-wood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe hybrid for Lurch. But like 180 out into the wind, we were hitting a legitimate 3-wood. And I was like pin high.
The only thing that I have a gripe of, I mean, I have a lot of gripes with the handicap system, but like that score, whatever we shot this week is just not even comparable to what we shoot at home, right? So it's like, at what point is that even fair to put in those numbers, right? I shoot a 80 out here. It's like, that's a fucking 67 at the Rockville.
Right,
Range.
like the score that I shot today. I was actually thinking about that on the ride over here. The score that I shot today, what it is back where we usually play is
Right.
drastically different. Like my score is so much better today than what it actually is.
Right.
So,
and
no,
also,
honestly, that 102 today might be like the best you've ever played.
Right, that's what I think so
I
too.
think it's definitely better than the sheep round. And what's
Yes.
your career low? 96.
95.
90. I think it I think it's better than
the round you played today was better than yesterday.
I agree with
Golf
that.
wise,
undoubtedly.
Not even
Yeah,
close.
dude, you
Right.
played great today.
Yeah.
Right. So that's like what he's saying, what Frankie's saying. When I enter that in, it's like it is that, but it's also really not that.
Right.
And I don't know how they compensate for that.
And also, I mean, this is my other knock on the handicap police, and specifically is just when you start playing golf courses like this, your handicap is just so. Like look back at like our last like 10 rounds in our gin system. Essentially, it's like all the courses at Forest Dunes, which are like tough resort golf courses, and like it's not like you're playing at your local community. And then you come out here to Bandon Dunes, it's like the wind's 45 miles an hour. So whatever you shoot at here, there has to be some sort of like gap or like fluctuation thing. Since it is a game based on honesty, like you should be able to put in like, hey, like. It was like a 4 or 5 stroke difference out there in wind. You know what I mean? Like to try and bring it back to like level par or something. What do you think about that, Lurch? You always have these ideas when it comes to gin.
No, I think it's good, but correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought the new system kind of correlated the scores of that day.
They do.
So I think there is a little bit of
still
that.
What does
don't
that
know if
mean
it's
now?
right.
So they'll take.
So what they do is they take their algorithm, the way I understand it. I could be wrong.
This is
We're
brand
usually
new.
Wrong a lot.
This is the
with
new
their new
system
system that
daily
came out
instead of
like the
every
last year.
15 days.
They calculate, and their algorithm takes every score posted from that course that day, and if the standard deviation, clearly all of the scores are X number like higher, it factors all of that
Yeah.
in
Amazing.
to
It's pretty sweet.
To
the
make
new
it-
system is,
right.
I think like
I mean, that's exactly what
yeah,
I
it's
said.
it's pretty much on point. The new system, like I think it does a really good
so
job.
I have
of-
noticed that it'll basically adjust it. a
Like,
little
so
bit.
today's number should be adjusted if everyone that
Yeah, we don't
played that
want to
course is
share
right.
who's played well at
Well,
each
no,
round.
I'm saying
but, like,
regardless of like, no, it should be adjusted based off of like the fact that everyone that played Old
Correct.
MacDonald today
Oh,
had
totally.
a higher score than
just
usual.
got dominated.
Correct.
Okay,
I will
That's
say we
exactly
didn't see
right.
many people out there because we were looking
True.
around.
That's how
like-
bad it was.
We might be the only people.
Right.
It was so bad nobody played it.
Right. And if you're home, you're just at home. You're not playing golf.
And that's a
today.
resort course that like people weren't playing, right? Like people are here to play golf,
Yeah.
and they still stayed home. They're like, we're just not going to do this.
We're not going
We
out.
flew all the way here from like
They
New
saw that
York,
wind
we're
emoji.
not-
They said nope.
Yeah.
Yes,
Smart.
Jared. So you haven't actually, both of you guys, like, give some insight on the boys' game. Riggs asked that before, but Dylan, you've seen us play before. But
Yeah, I mean-
like, go around and how do you feel about each player?
Yeah, so I was trying not to give away too much, but I'll skim the surface. I mean, I know Riggs he's got like more in the tank for sure. It's just tough right now with the wind. I've seen him play better.
I haven't been playing my best, but also like I've posted some
It's
decent
tough.
scores.
It's no,
Small
you
passive aggressive dig, though.
You've not
I
been
know
bad.
he's on your back, so that wasn't.
No,
that
but
was that was an
Some in the
interesting-
tank's one of the meanest things you can say. to
Right,
Riggs.
he's got more.
No.
You know, he thinks he
I
left
just-
it.
I just
he thinks
know-
he's on
This
empty
is
right now.
I know-
dangerous
I
right
know
now.
Riggs has 75 miles left until empty, according to Dylan.
I think everything he's saying
No.
is accurate. That's my guy. He's honest.
yeah, I
Like
mean,
Brooks Koepka, which
I just yeah, he's posted some decent numbers, yes, but I know he's not scoring as well as he could. I think is fair.
where I've gone from 6 holes into this trip to now is amazing.
Yep.
Yeah,
Stunning.
Absolutely amazing. Stunning.
yeah.
But yeah, it's golf. We're
fair,
describing
yeah.
golf.
Ben's playing about as pretty much same as always. I mean,
Your
from what
putting
I've
is
seen,
a nightmare.
he putted well at Sheep. He made some putts at Sheep.
I made one putt at Chief.
Yeah, it was a clutch one.
It was a sick putt.
That was a pretty unreal putt, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, not getting into details, but I think I've made like one putt outside 10 feet.
Yeah,
A couple putts today, didn't you?
Were you on the same golf course I was?
I don't remember those.
Maybe that was yesterday.
Yesterday it
There
was
was not a lot made today.
Jared.
I'm thinking about yesterday. I think.
No shade.
But
There was
that-
not a lot made today.
I will say this is my first time actually meeting Frank and Frankie and Trent, but
I thought he was gonna forget my name there for a second. I was just gonna.
Of all the people to forget.
no, but I mean Frankie plays like I don't know. I've seen videos online, so I mean I think he's Pac was pretty impressive actually.
Frankie,
You hit
you've
it
been
well.
driving
You
the
hit it
ball
well
great.
at Pac.
Yeah.
You've been I think you've been hitting it well. Trent, honestly, like I kind of forgot how high of a number 100 is. Like I was kind of when I was thinking like this won't be that hard, and then I kind of forgot like 100's a big number. Takes a lot of
Huge.
that's a lot of strokes, and
So many.
but now I mean I think I think tomorrow's going to be maybe a rest day. I think you got better each day. I would say.
Yeah, I think I'm gaining momentum for
Yeah,
sure.
I think you're on the right track.
nice to
I would
think you're on the
say
right
your
track.
golf swing is noticeably better.
I love it. I
Clearly
really do
was.
love it.
Like
The scores don't always reflect it.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
You're clearly, you end up in some bad spots, and like they can add up.
It's a whole new world for him.
But dude, you are capable now. Like your ceiling is so much higher.
You're capable.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah.
You're strong.
Yeah.
You're dependent.
Okay.
You're not dependent on anyone else.
Okay. Yeah. I drive
You
myself to
deserve
work.
the same
I,
wages
dude,
as
you
all
hit
other
some
types of genders and everything. You know,
You hit
you
some
are a
sick
strong woman.
No, it is. It's there. It's like actually capable is actually the right word.
That's mean though. Capable.
It's not me.
I mean,
why are you guys looking
Because he's a human being with athletic skills. Capable.
Look him in the eye.
Why are you
I
looking
feel like
that?
Springsteen and that one guy. What's the guy's name?
Hey Trent, you're capable.
No, man, we are really close right now. I know what you mean when you say that. Did you get a good picture of that?
Wait, it's a portrait. Get back in there, Lurch.
Oh man, here we go. Just all for the
It's
picture.
like Lady and the Tramp.
Capable.
Thank you
Sucking
so
on
much.
some
I appreciate
spaghetti.
that. I do feel
Boys, look
capable.
at that picture. That's a great
Oh my
picture.
god.
You're really looking into my soul there.
That's a great podcast promo.
The scores don't always reflect.
Dude, you're hitting some sick iron shots.
Yeah, the
Like, you're
irons are
hitting
coming around.
Really good irons.
I need to just play more.
Your putting's all out of control bad sometimes.
Yeah,
Out of control bad.
we're getting there. We've gotten.
We all
there.
watch it go right to left, and like your head moves. You're like, no way, dude.
Yeah, sometimes my speed is worse than Lurch.
Yeah, it is.
You do. It's a bad putt
Well,
sometimes.
I do,
But I mean, that's you just.
it's not all gonna be perfect.
Dude, I'll say we and we could keep going around, but like when you have a caddy, and I think I've proven this. Like sometimes I'm the worst putter in the group, but then when I have a guy like Jared that's walking us around, giving us holes, right?
That's the best.
Just put it to my feet, and you're like, "There's no way, dude. There's no way this ball's gonna kick right, and then it's gonna straighten out." Like I don't know how you see that difference. And then, dude, we putt like crazy these last couple of days, Jared.
I feel like
You and I.
and that. Not gonna give too much away, but that putt we almost
Right.
made on 18,
Right.
yesterday, like
Right.
unreal, like 80 feet.
Yeah, no,
know?
You
there's
putted great this trip.
dude. I'm telling you, because like when I get that, when I know, and maybe I was a horrible caddy all those years when I was fucking 14, 15, 16.
If you
The
can't
judge,
read, if
shout
you
out to
still
the
can't
judge.
read the greens, you're definitely a horrible caddy.
Right, that's what I mean. Like I feel like I have a feel for the greens, but clearly I don't have the confidence to do what I need to do, because when I get a caddy, I'm like so much more aggressive and I'm so much more calm, if that makes any sense. Like I'm
Yeah.
aggressive with my lines because I'm just listening to you, and then I'm calm with my stroke because I know someone that knows the putt is telling me to putt it there, if that makes any sense to anybody. Like
Oh,
I'm like
there's more confidence, right?
there's
Like,
so
you
much more
trust
confidence. I'm
it,
like, oh, I just have to hit it to your feet. Like
there's no
here we go.
questions.
It's
Yeah.
in the hole.
Like how many times we hit a shot today? It was like no thought.
No thought.
Like just hit it.
Yep.
And that's how it is on the greens. I
How
feel
would
like
you
most-
say? I mean, we don't have to do it too much, but how would you say the guys' games are? This is your first time ever meeting.
Well, I
anyone?
mean, yeah, first time meeting all you boys. I think for
Be
you,
honest,
my,
too.
my
Make
two
someone
boys
cry.
especially.
Frankie and
One-
Lurch.
Frankie and Lurch.
Yeah.
Especially with Lurch, I think if anything, we kind of lose focus at parts.
Huge.
Like
I mean, I think that's a huge issue.
dude,
You
I
said
mean,
that a
Jared,
few times
I have
today.
to
He just-
give him payday bars and
Right.
feed him peanut butters and chocolate throughout the day to try and win matches.
No, I need like sugar to keep
I
me going.
cut off
Sometimes
little
I'm just
pieces of
walking
sugar
around, like,
and I dangle it. I say, "Come here, boy.
Oh, and I-
Come here, boy.
No,
Here's
that's
your next
great.
shot."
Trent, I think it was
sometimes
on
I
the
don't
last
like. I'm
hole.
just walking, and then I'm hitting the ball,
Yeah.
but I don't even.
Oh,
Yeah,
Like
I
I'll
could
literally
use a little bit, probably more care sometimes.
like a little. Yeah, well, I mean, you'll just. I'll say like, you see that tree over there, and you're like, yeah, and I'm like, you're not even looking at the tree I'm talking about. So like, it's funny because you'll just kind of like go with everything I say. I don't even know
No, I
if we're
trust you,
honed
but
in half the
there's
time.
probably some times where I miss it. Yeah.
And I think you guys are kind of like almost opposites. Like I feel like you're honed
They are.
in
Yeah.
on every shot.
When I have a guy like you that is, and I said this in the first round to the camera, but I was like, when I have a guy that wants us to do well, which I think both of you guys have that like personality trait, which is awesome in a caddy, especially at a resort. To be able to come out here on a vacation, you're with your boys and you want to play well, and you have a guy that you're going to be with for 4 or 5 days, and like, this guy wants me to do well. That's a huge, just feeling of comfort of going in. So, yeah, I was, like, dialed into everything you were saying, and it does help me play better.
Well, and I see it like, and that's the main thing, like doing those two. Like,
Right.
we're only here to like, make sure you're having a great time. and B, we want you to play well. Like,
Right.
that's the main goal.
Right.
Like, it hurts us maybe more than it hurts you when you miss a putt. Like,
Totally.
there's a couple times today where
You're
we, like,
apologizing
missed a putt,
to
and
me.
I'm
I'm
like,
like,
oh
what are you
my
doing?
God, like, I can't believe that didn't break. Like, drives me crazy.
It's a lot of fun too, because like me and you were doing a lot of the we thing. Like we made putts today,
Right.
and like
Yeah.
we're like,
It's a
dude. At
team.
one point, I mean, my knee
team.
was in shambles. I think I gave you a little attitude where I'm like, we gotta lock in on these yardages with because
Yes.
me and
Nah,
you
that
both
was
weren't.
early.
No,
Yeah.
for me, I was like, we have to. Because, like, I had a bad knee, so my 120-yard shot
Right.
was no longer a 52-degree.
It
and we
wasn't the
kept
same,
picking
yeah.
52. And I'm like, bro, when are we going to get it that I
Yeah.
can't hit this ball this
I
far?
like that. You guys ready?
Right. And he's like, I know. He's like,
Greller and Spieth
but
out
he's
there.
also
That's right.
like,
That's
but
fine,
no,
but they've
I was
won a
saying
lot
it-
of tournaments.
I was
They
saying
have.
it about myself. I'm like, when are we gonna fucking understand that I can't hit this ball 120 yards? I have to hit a pitching wedge, and then I hit a pitching wedge into the parking lot. So it's like it doesn't
right.
matter. Like what you know what I mean? When you're a shitty amateur golfer,
Should I
it
say to
doesn't.
Dylan? You kidding me? Out
Oh,
there?
I can imagine. Yeah,
Blind.
Dylan's a running
Blind
Dylan.
caddy. Jesus.
No, but it's fun to be able to get like in that mode. Like I would never do that day 1, day 2, day 3, but like once you're in day 4 and we're going to day 5, it's like, man, we're a team now. It's
Right.
pretty cool.
Right.
I think everyone that comes on a trip like this should. And is that like an option for people to be able to do that, where you get caddies from like day 1 to day 5? Like
Yeah, it's always.
that's
you
what
just
happens
stay
when
with-
every time you come to
amazing.
you
Bandon.
just stay with the
Service.
group
Oh,
until they
so-
get tired of you. But
Dude, which is cool because you guys hone in on the clubs, right? Like a lot of
Right.
times when I get over there, like your caddy will literally just have the club for you. Be like, this
Totally.
is the shot, aim right there, and you're like,
Right.
fuck
Right.
Yeah,
let's go.
I told E-Bug the other day. I was like, Trent, I'm pretty sure Trent doesn't know what club he's hitting like at least half the time because I just give him
Yeah,
the
he
club and
just
just walk away.
That's
Yeah.
right. Might be
no,
high.
but that's
Because
the
he
thing,
just
though,
hands you a
like-
club and is like,
Right.
How
on that
confident
line.
do
Well,
you feel?
no, I usually know because it's usually the hybrid. We've been hitting the hybrid so many times that it's like, oh, there it is. There it is. I know what this thing
Hell
does.
yeah.
It's, the only,
Trent had a-
it's the only club I can hit in my bag
Trent-
confidently.
Trent had a couple.
Hybrid.
He had a couple club choices today or yesterday that we have to, I think, blur out. You said
Yeah, we are.
there's a couple club choices on certain tee boxes that we're gonna blur out as if it's
Especially
as if it's a
It's
It's usually
nude
a par,
body part.
It's usually a par 3.
Yeah,
Into the wind.
it's gonna be a very
Yeah.
funny
I
part
mean,
of
he
video.
had on Old Mac today from 145.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah,
went. It went.
we're gonna
it went-
blur that.
It,
too.
went,
Trying to blur that out.
it
don't
did. It did
Oh
go
wait,
like.
bleep that out.
It did go 10, 12.
No, you're good.
No,
No, you keep talking.
It'll be
You're
good.
good. You're doing everything great.
Yeah.
I hit, no. I mean, it did go like 10, 12 feet long, but like,
Yeah.
he's like, not sniffing the
No.
front.
No.
Like,
We're,
not
blur,
even
we're gonna be
close.
blurring a lot.
Yeah,
We're
blur out
gonna, I'm gonna be over the graphic team.
Oh, and blur
shoulder
out what I
when
just
we
said.
edit these
But
videos.
that's a good point, though. Like,
Blur out everything Dylan says the whole
it's
time.
not even. You don't even get to numbers like numbers are almost irrelevant for most of the point. Like,
Right.
especially after once you get to know the guy's shot. Like, it took me a few holes. Your ball flight's a lot lower. Frankie's
He's
a
got to be
little
harder
higher.
to dial in than me,
Right.
no? Because
But
he's
it's like-
erratic.
Yes.
with
Hold
his
on, but he-
distances.
He hits.
Yeah,
So
you
you
are.
hit crazy
It's more of a
low
piercing
missiles.
flight, right? So
Okay.
it's hard
How are
to
you
club.
supposed to know those
Right,
distances
right,
for
right,
him?
right.
But-
Yeah.
Sorry.
Did you not
No,
like
no,
what I
you
said
find
there?
a way.
But what I'm saying is, like, it's not even. We get to a like even yesterday, like you asked me a couple questions.
I feel like
on
Jared's like letting out his feelings. Like,
He hates you.
Well, my
no.
next question for them is like,
This is
where did all the players let you guys down? And I feel like mine isn't even putting; it's concentration, which is
well, no.
this is a therapy
Bro, that
session.
fucking turkey just flew to the top of that tree.
Dude, I just
they
saw it
roost
too.
in
It's
the tree.
literally
Turkeys
in the
fly
tree.
They
into
roost in
trees?
Yeah.
turkeys fly.
It's
They
crazy.
sleep in trees at night, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That was
yeah.
nuts.
Yeah.
Big ass Thanksgiving turkey just flapped its wings
Yeah.
to the top of a fucking tree.
I didn't know they flew.
Dude, look
Neither
at him
did
up
I.
there. He's beautiful.
Holy shit.
Okay.
But like we were out, we had a sprinkler right next to us, right? And I was like, we're hitting this 8-iron, and you're like, it feels like a 7, and I was just like, hit the fucking 8, and I walked away, right?
What did I hit?
And you hit an 8.
When was this? Yesterday?
Yeah.
You remember? You're like,
And we-
I would never have hit an 8
and we
there,
hit
and you
it-
were
we
like,
hit it to
right
10 feet.
10 feet.
And so I was like, but I didn't even like,
18.
and I don't use a laser.
Oh, are you talking 18?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That
But
was
I don't,
4 feet,
like-
so not 10.
Oh.
Yeah, Jared, you don't use a laser. You literally just know the yardages.
Yeah,
By
so
the
you
way,
got
we haven't
something
right
wrong
talked
with
about
him.
that.
He's got something wrong with him.
Yeah,
He
it's
knows.
crazy.
He just knows the.
What do
And
you-
I don't even
what do you
mean
call
like.
it? What do you call it? Dead? It's dead 90. What's your term? You say that it's
That's
you
what
have
they
a-
were calling the bacon. Dead.
That's actually true. You say something about the distance. Oh, raw.
Raw.
You saw it's raw 90, which I like.
Raw 90. Yeah.
Raw
But,
is
I mean,
good.
It's always a feel. Like it's never gonna be
Gaping hole.
like you get a guy's
That's
you
what
get a
that made
guy's
you think
feel. You get his ball.
When I hear the
flight.
word raw, yeah, I start to get a little crazy.
So you don't use a laser.
No.
Wow.
Never.
Bro, he
never
would look
once.
at the hole and just go, that's 45.
And he does double check with the. You eventually double check with the sprinkler heads, right?
Always.
Yeah,
I always
but
look
you
at a sprinkler.
usually like you eyeball it,
But it's all it's pure
and then
calculation.
you're right every time.
After looking at because the sprinklers are all middle of the green. Especially at Old Mac, it's really hard because middle of the green,
Doesn't
the
matter.
pin could be 80 yards away from the middle, right?
Yeah, I mean, I will say on par threes, I use a laser because I mean,
Can't
You're
see
blind.
shit.
Yeah, we get it.
blind.
I mean, we
Blind as a
so
bat.
Use a laser the whole day. For
I
everything.
need for everything, yeah. But
I got like a 10
I mean,
foot
I'm,
putt,
I'm
you got the laser.
on
We
par
were walking
threes.
down one of the fairways. I was like, Dylan, do you think that the most important part of your job is to see the golf ball and you can't do it? And he's like, yeah, I think so. And we just continued on our day. I was like, all right, good.
By the way, I highly recommend Dylan. If you
Yeah,
come
no.
to
And then the
Caddies.
bags
Dylan
fell, and I looked at him. I
that's
asked him
so
if his
funny.
last name was Aloof because
It
he's
was-
just always like his hat was falling off, his bags were falling. He had no idea where we were.
He is a great caddy.
He's an amazing caddy.
But but getting back to Heeman's numbers, it's crazy because I'll laser it and it'll be like 115, and then Heeman will go, what is it, like 116, and I'm like, the laser's probably wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Wow,
it's crazy.
That's very impressive.
Like if he's off by a lot, it's probably 3 yards.
Are you guys good players yourselves? I don't even know if I mean, you were
I mean,
talking to me a little bit.
We're decent.
Yeah, you're both pretty good.
I go break 80 at every course I'll ever play, but I'm not gonna go shoot a 69
Right.
or lower. But
It's
great.
like a
we'll be around
one or
even
two
5
handicap
over or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
good golf.
I grew up playing golf. I haven't played much golf. Well, I guess I took 2 weeks off and I played like 17. Like, I played a crazy amount of golf in like those 2 weeks. But yeah, I mean, if you give me like a range session before, I'm expecting to shoot between like even and 5
Yeah.
over. I would say something. In
Yeah.
You
I
played
think-
great in the par 3 course.
Par 3, I was pretty dialed. I mean, I was kind of pissed at Heeman because like every time I hit what I thought was a perfect shot, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's terrible," and I was
Yeah.
like, "What do you mean? It's just like it didn't leave the flag." I mean, I don't know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. He's just like, "No, I don't know." So
Trent, what do you think my heart rate is right now?
What's your heart rate right
Yeah.
now? 77.
75.
Very nice.
Wow. You know how I knew that?
Whoop.
Yeah, Whoop.
There it is.
Whoop is the world's most powerful fitness wearable. It provides 24/7 personalized sleep training and recovery insights to help you unlock your potential. Each day measures how well you slept, how recovered you are, and how much stress you put on your body. What was the local bar we went to last night, boys?
that was the arcade.
All right, went to the arcade with all the caddies. There are about, 30 caddies there.
At least.
Recovery today, 13%.
Yep. That'll do it.
My HRV, 27, almost dead.
Oh,
My strain this whole trip, and I'm sure you guys are very similar, off the charts, much higher than usual. Usually I just sit in my New York City apartment and don't do anything. I've been walking 20,000 steps a day. I'm at like 14 strain a day, which is high.
My strain today, 19.6.
I think the highest you can go is 20.
21 maybe?
Dude,
Somewhere
that's-
around there.
Yeah, I mean, we've been getting a
21.
workout.
But the point is that you get all this incredible insights.
It's great.
And data.
dude, they have this new, and my freaking Whoop died halfway through the round today. I gotta charge it tonight.
The health monitor thing?
The
Yeah.
health monitor
Sorry, I
thing.
just
Yeah,
touched your
I thought
leg.
that was like a thing that you were trying to get my attention. But yeah, the health
yeah.
monitor thing.
No, I was just
is
rubbing your leg.
Awesome! It's a new feature, and I think it's more of like a reason to buy the new Whoop 4.0 that just came out with all this new technology. But basically, they added this new, and I guess I can't see it because my freaking thing died. But it gives you all these like, oh yeah, there you go. So it gives you all these like checkpoints. It's a health monitor. It says like your RPMs should be your heart
Yeah.
rate should be in a certain range.
Yep.
We're just playing footsie at this point, me and you.
My feet, dude, from today are so beat up. Feel like I need this cushion. It's so nice. But
I'm,
it's just occupational hazard. I'm just going to like bump into your feet. So yeah, all mine are outside the ranges that you're supposed to be in based on what's happened to me the last 2 days. 17.4 respiratory rate. It says checkpoint near 15.9 to 17.2.
I'm gonna go to the pee.
Man,
So I'm just outside of it.
Frankie Borelli's going to go take a piss.
Point is, Whoop is incredible,
Want me to carry
and
you?
we help you folks out. We get you 15% off. Okay, you go to whoop.com, enter the code FOREPLAY.
He's a
Frankie's-
mess, dude.
FOREPLAY, whoop.com, WHOOP.com, enter FOREPLAY, one word, at checkout. You get 15% off. That's whoop.com, code FOREPLAY. Check out. You save 15%. So Frankie needs a cane.
Yeah, he was walking. What club was he using as a cane today?
I was in Lurch's 52.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you don't use that club, Lurch?
Right.
Yeah, it's an inch too short.
It's
So I
an
just
inch
got to
too
get a
short.
bigger 52. It goes the
That's
same
right.
distance
Yeah.
to the 56.
Shout out to TaylorMade. If you guys are out there, you're a TaylorMade athlete, we're going to get you a normal size for Lurch, 52-degree wedge.
They should make golf club canes. Do they do that? TaylorMade should, I guess.
Cool idea. Somewhere probably does it.
I don't know if it's a cool idea or not, but Frankie needs one.
You think it's a little like too much, kind of dorky?
Yeah, it's like a novelty item.
Yeah,
Could
not
be
to
a,
actually be used.
Could be a decent market though.
All right, gentlemen, you got anything else you can think about from today's or this week's golf? We got Bandon Dunes tomorrow. What are we expecting? My favorite course here, Bandon Dunes.
I personally think this might be all of your favorite courses after the end.
Wow.
Besides you played it, but especially the time of day we're playing it tomorrow at 3 o'clock. We're gonna hit 16, which is one of the most epic holes on property at like sunset. I think you guys are gonna have a lot to say about Bandon, and
That's exciting.
I think I don't know. It's been an amazing trip, but I don't know. The golf's been good. The morale's been good.
Yep.
Yeah,
Positive energy.
I'm going to dial in the focus for you tomorrow. That one, well, I thought he was going to say putting, but the focus, and I agree with him. Sometimes I'm on a different planet. I'm just walking around thinking, hey, life's pretty good. You know, wherever this ball goes, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
But
I noticed that
when you're
overshots.
caddying,
Sometimes you overshots. I can tell you just have
totally.
zero
The last
focus.
couple holes, I was just like, I got to dial it in. My guy Jared's pissed. I just
No, well,
What are you
I was-
thinking about? Are you thinking about like?
I was just putting it around. It's like eventually it's
stars
going
or
to be over.
something?
It's like it's honestly like
eventually it's going to be over.
I'm
That's
not,
what you're thinking. About.
I'm not making like a good score on this hole, so I'm just like, meh, hit it up there. Not a ton of thought into it, but you should be always trying to save a shot. I am not in those moments, and so because of my guy Jared's comment, I'm going to try to hone in for you tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to have a good round of golf. Whatever the weather is, doesn't matter. We're going to hit it well for you.
I appreciate
And if you
that.
see that, it look in my eye where it's like, yeah, wonder where the closest Snickers bar is.
well,
Just say, hey, Lurch, come back to me. Right.
Okay. Yeah,
And that's okay.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I'm good
I
with
think that's the only critique I would give.
So Jared, Frankie, to update you while you're peeing, how'd the pee go?
Oh well. Actually came out sideways for the first second. You ever happen to you?
Many
Just
times.
like hitting the wall and shit. You're like, what's happening here? You're like, what's
jerking off?
going on here?
Me, myself, and Irene.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Didn't clean up. Yeah. He throws his phone. Dude, I've always wondered why that doesn't happen to me when I'm at like the urinal or something, just peeing on
This
his
is a
shoe.
family podcast. You know what I'm saying?
No, to be honest, that's
My
not
mom
what it
listens
is.
to
I don't
this
know
show.
what it is. I don't know what that was just now.
Let's just not talk about
Yeah.
it. You know?
Weird.
Jared said that he thinks Bandon Dunes will be everyone here's favorite.
Hope I get there.
I
I
really
fucking
do.
hope I get there.
True.
and I know you love Pack, especially because you played great.
Yep.
Um,
And you think that's fair to like
That just
to-
matters,
you,
dude.
that
It
that
always
like what would you
matters.
guys spoil?
100%. I mean, you guys, we got abused today at Old Mac,
Right.
right? So you get off the course, you're like, But
The way you play directly affects
It also
your
matters.
likeness of the golf course.
It also matters because you get a real experience of the course.
Totally.
You remember the shot values and like the club choices and the thinking.
Why do I
through
care
the
about that
shots.
green if I bladed it 3 times over and I picked up and I walked to the next tee
It's
box?
impossible to be objective. Yeah,
Right.
it's impossible.
Cool
It's just-
architectural
it's
feature that
yeah.
you're like,
Right.
no, I just bladed it over. the
Yeah, I
green
don't
twice.
Yeah,
don't
what
give
I
a
just
fuck.
I just like ping ponged it across 6
Right,
times.
yeah.
I
You
don't-
slice
I
one
didn't see
up,
any
like-
green complex yet.
Slice one to the shit, take a drop, like blade one left, and you're like, everyone's like, isn't that hole really well designed? You're like, no.
So what about
I don't-
tomorrow?
Except for trails.
So-
I think you still hole by hole.
Totally, yeah.
That
Well, it's like playing like Augusta. Like
Even
it
if you
doesn't matter if
play-
you play
right.
bad, you're gonna walk.
if you
Like,
play
the walk
terrible,
is
you
worth
will
it.
enjoy everything.
So what about tomorrow's different than Pack?
Well, I think it factors in like time of day. So we're gonna
Okay.
hit sunset.
Yep.
And like I was
Oh,
saying,
boy.
on 16 is gonna be epic. Like trust me. Like when we get off 15's green, you guys are gonna be like, oh fuck. Yeah. Like
Shit,
we
I'm
will.
excited.
But also Bandon's, it's probably the fairest of all the courses. I would say maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Pack and Bandon definitely. Like when I first got here, I remember trying to like just learn all the holes and stuff. And Pack and Bandon I would mix up sometimes in my head just because. Yeah,
You're an idiot,
they've
you're
a
blind and shit.
part of it. That's part of it. But I mean, they just feel very similar. I would say Bandon's just more playable, and it's gonna be less wind tomorrow. Be like same day, like same amount of wind that we had on Pack, but Bandon just blows a little less than
You
Pack.
get another
so
bottle of wine, Lurch?
It's gonna be like 20.
All right.
It'll be blowing probably like 20, 25, which like isn't that bad out here.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean Bandon's pretty playable, so yeah, it's gonna
Fourth
factor
hole
in.
at Bandon's my favorite hole on property.
It might be the best hole in the resort. I mean, you get
Awesome.
this reveal
Oh.
kind of thing.
Yeah, I think
at 3 at Old Mac is like nuts.
I can't believe we're playing Bandon tomorrow. That's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah.
Did you hear Lurch in there?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
the
preposterous.
He's gross.
Yeah. No, but
He was ripping
Bandon's-
farts in audio girl Hannah's just ear today.
Oh,
It's fucking crazy. And then he goes, "Oh," and then this is so classic. Lurch goes, "Oh, blessed, that's just sewage." and audio girl Hannah just lifts her headphones off of her ears and just kind of puts them over around her neck and just smiles because she's like the most innocent person of all time, just listening to us be absolute fucking
she literally
animals.
had to take him off and be like,
Yeah.
I need a break.
When you apparently
Had
were farting
sewage.
and talking about sewage and poor audio girl Hannah's ears.
He goes, "Oh, blessed."
I mean, I'm not a dairy guy.
Oh, hell in a hand. He goes, "Oh, hell in a handbasket. That's absolute sewage."
And this is exactly why I moved out of this room.
Yeah.
Why I left, because I saw you scooping butter into your mouth, and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna be farting up a storm tonight." It's like, well, then I'm gonna drive 35 minutes away from here and sleep somewhere else.
So, so Trent and I, we enjoy one another's company, and so this morning we were having a nice meal, and I said, "Let's get some table pancakes." Dress the table with a couple table pancakes. So we get the pancakes. You have the
breakfast here
biscuits
is
and gravy.
excellent.
I have the oatmeal, but we have the pancakes. And anyways, I put some syrup and some butter on it and dressed it up nice. And so we get to like the, 13th, 14th hole like that. Sewage. And so Jake Bass is behind me filming.
You can't call it
Sewage for a fart is so wrong.
Dude, it's the
You
dairy
crop dusted
aspect.
me more than I've ever been crop
So-
dusted my entire life.
so-
I'm like, dude,
so
my
Jake
eyes are
Bass-
watering.
So Jake Bass looks at me and he goes, "That's horrible. I'm never filming you again." And I go, "It's the dairy." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't have a ton of it today." He goes, "You covered the pancakes in butter. You covered them, and I saw you do it." And I was like, "I apologize." I was trying to get to areas that I was downwind of people to not affect anybody, but
Again, like
for
the
Hannah
audio
listening,
girl was
I know,
she
poor
was
girl.
just listening at all times. You know, it's
I
just
But
actually-
in
I
Lurch's defense, like
Thank
we
you.
all forget that.
big time.
Totally.
tough.
Oh yeah.
And I will say
the
but,
things
like,
that
we
she
were
probably heard
giving
me
her a-
say today with my knee were insane.
Oh.
Insane.
Yeah.
As I'm walking on my own,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
45 yards behind you guys.
Oh, just cursing.
I'm just like
Oh.
you're a pathetic piece of
After-
fucking filth.
after
She like
our,
turns around like what?
after our picnic when we played that par 3 down the hill and we
Oh,
sat
yeah.
up there. You came down 15 minutes later and just sidelined, just dragging it. I could not imagine what you were
It
saying.
took you so long to walk down that hill.
Oh god. We gotta talk about Brooks Koepka being a fucking weirdo.
You were 200 yards behind us.
I
walking down
was.
that hill.
And I went up to go get a leave and they didn't have any.
It's been a fun trip so far outside of the wind.
It's been incredibly fun. It's just been really windy.
Yeah.
We'll get to a lot more of that, obviously. We're going to go over the Bandon. Thank you, Lurch. You just handed me a bottle of wine. If I had Owen's mixers, I'd be drinking that, but I don't, so we're drinking wine. We'll obviously cover Bandon, so folks know what we thought about that. The series will come out probably in a month or so. Obviously, our guys, Jake, Brendan, our whole crew, Garrett, they work their asses off, and those videos will be fantastic. But,
Shout out Garrett to the memes account.
oh my God.
Yeah, FOREPLAY memes
He's
on
killing
Instagram. Is
Give
it
that a
FOREPLAY
follow.
memes, FOREPLAY pod memes.
I think it's
FOREPLAY
somebody's
memes.
ball from the course over here. What is this?
I accidentally dropped that
All
before.
right, never mind. Sorry.
But give that a follow. That kid
Funny
is
shit.
putting up some really funny content
Garrett.
on there.
Awesome guy, shitty name. Garrett's been killing it with the edits.
He's very funny.
Like unbelievable. The R2D2 one, CP
all time.
C3PO
Really good.
and R2D2, and the shadows. I mean,
Did a
nobody
horse
talks
racing
about
one today of Lurch carried Frankie up a hill,
Yep.
and he did a horse racing meme today. It was also very funny.
How was that? How was me on your back?
I mean, I said you're as light as a golf bag.
Yeah.
And, like, to me, it's pretty much the same as carrying a golf bag with you on my back. Other than, like, your body weight, like, you're just, like, flailing around back there. At one point, I was like, if you could just be closer to my back, that'd be helpful for me walking.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's just not a ton of me.
It was
on
one
you.
of the higher.
Everyone was making a big deal of like I was like I got like a Frank on each shoulder basically carrying these two
Right.
golf bags. I mean you're
I mean,
what do you weigh like
I'm
130
170 pounds, so let's not.
It really takes a whole team to take care of Frankie when he's hurt. We got
Takes a
Lurch carrying
village.
up the hill. He just wanted me to adjust this pillow. He goes, put it a little closer down by the ankle. I was like, all right.
And it's just got to be perfect for him, too, because, like, we were saying, like, he's as heavy as a golf bag, and he quickly fits in. I'm 170 pounds, so let's not get it twisted. Like, it's got to be negative for him, but it's got to be the perfect amount of negative. And if it's just an inch below that, he's furious.
This has been happening my whole life, too. Like, my buddies
Oh, no
listening to
way.
this, like, all my buddies listening to this are probably dying, like, because I'm just such a liability when it comes to getting hurt and, like, how I, like, over-exaggerate and stuff. I'm not over-exaggerating about this knee. But yeah, they call me Bones because I'm brittle. I can just break. Like, they're just like, Bones Borelli at it again. Like,
You've
he's
had
in
4 injuries on this trip.
And knock on wood, I've never broken a bone. Knock on wood. Never once. Never sprained or broken. Never been in a cast or a sling. It's pretty impressive.
You want to hear something horrible?
No. The sewage in your asshole?
No.
That
That's
is
not
horrible,
just
though.
air, my
Speaking
man.
of
Confirm that's
sewage, I
horrible.
was trying to read a putt for you on 17, and I
Oof, did I
literally
hit you?
got slapped
Oh,
in the face
no.
with probably the gnarliest
That is
smell.
rude that you do
I
that.
have ever
it was
hit.
not intentional.
Oh, bless it.
He's
Oh, bless it.
downwind. I'm
I
sitting
said hell
there
in a
trying to read a
handbasket.
putt.
Oh,
hell in a handbasket.
Unreal.
That's absolute sewage.
Unreal, dude.
That is rude that you do that.
It was unintentional. I did not mean to do it. I apologize.
He
for
made
it.
par.
I did
That's
make par.
not.
Lucky
That's
par.
not
Lucky par.
vindication.
I forgot what I was going to say there, but yeah.
Brooks Koepka.
Sorry.
Ryder Cup. We got to talk about this real quick.
Yeah.
We obviously we're immersed in Bandon as we should be. It's one of the great places for golf in the world. But a couple comments. Ryder Cup's next week. We're going to be in Sheboygan. Brooks Koepka.
Come see Shaboy in Sheboygan.
He loves saying that.
Come see your boy in Sheboygan. He had some comments that have come out about the Ryder Cup. He did this feature. It was a Golf.com, Golf Digest, maybe
Golf
Golf
Digest,
Digest.
I
Golf
believe.
Digest. He had this whole feature piece, and he's honest, which Brooks Koepka's always been. It's great to see. And actually, I don't even find this. We'll get to it. But what he said was, on the Ryder Cup, it's different. It's hectic. It's a bit odd, if I'm honest. I don't want to say it's a bad week, which means he thinks it's a bad week. We're just so individualized, and everybody has their routine, a different way of doing things, and now it's like, okay, we have to have a meeting at this time, or go do this, or go do that. It's the opposite of what happens during a major week. It's tough, he added. There are times where I'm like, I won my match. I did my job. What do you want from me? I know how to take responsibility for the shots I hit every week. Now, somebody else hit a bad shot, left me in a bad spot, and I know this hole was a loss. That's new when you have to change the way you think about things. You go from an individual sport all the time to a team sport once a week, once a year. It's so far from my normal routine.
All right, so I agree with him up until he started rattling off, like, I did my job. I played well. Now I have to rely on other people, right? Like in the beginning where it's like he's an individualistic athlete. He plays an individual sport. He worries about his own ball for every single day he's out there except for 1 week every 2 years. I get that. It's different. They're not wired that way. That's fair. But, like, you're doing this. Like, I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like, you're in it. You are playing a team sport. You are about to play.
There's no I in team.
There is no I in team. Like, you can't now say, like, oh, I usually do this, but, like, so now I'm not going to be able to, like, adjust. It's like, no, just adjust. Like, just do it. Like, I don't understand what's so hard about, like, now being a part of a team. I tweeted out, has he never been a part of a team before? And
Right.
that's not true. Like, the guy played baseball. He was a pitcher. His grandfather, I think, was a major league baseball player we looked up. Someone in his family, whether his uncle or his grandfather. The guy knows what it's like to rally around people and, like, want to play for a team. He should know that. Why is this some foreign thing to him where he's like, it's different, it's weird, I need my own routine? No, you don't. You need the team routine. You're doing a team event this week. Like, everything you're saying right now makes no sense. Like, you're doing the team routine this week. It's not the individual routine that you're used to is not coming into play this week. It's not weird. It's different.
And get behind that.
Get behind it.
Like, that is this week, and if not, like, Azinger's right. It's like, just give up your, like, if you're not buying in, then get out of here.
So I should read the Paul Azinger comments that Lurch just referenced. He said, Brooks, I just read that article. I'm not sure he loves the Ryder Cup that much. If he doesn't love it, he should relinquish his spot and get people here who do love the Ryder Cup. Not everybody embraces it, but if you don't love it and you're not sold out, then I think Brooks should, especially being hurt, consider whether or not he really wants to be there.
You just don't see a guy like Justin Thomas making these comments, or Colin Morikawa. There's just these egos on
Or
this
Ian
team.
Poulter, or you know.
But, like, no, there's guys on the U.S. team. Like, you're not going to see Scotty Scheffler being like, this is a really tough week for me because I usually, like, play by myself and I like to read my own putts and I like to do my own thing. And when I score well,
No,
I make
definitely
money.
not.
Like, there's just a couple guys, a.k.a. Brooksy and Brooks, who are just these fucking volatile, insane people, and they're both as bad as the other, and they just can't keep their mouths shut.
Just Brooks and Bryson.
You never see Tom Brady being like, well, I throw good passes, and it's people don't catch them. There's really nothing I can do about it. Like he would never do that. No. Like, we need to be better as a team. We. That's how they talk.
And the
about
Brooks defenders are going to be like, well, Tom Brady doesn't go out there 16 other weeks and just throw passes and then he wins like a Brooks does. But like, you have to be the Tom Brady that is the quarterback of a football team this week. Like, I don't understand why it's such a hard concept to just change and adapt for this 1 week awesome event that the entire golf world is rallying behind and the entire country is going to rally behind. Why can't you just accept that? Why can't this be a cool thing?
And it's a little bit tough. Some guys are getting it a little bit tough, right? Like Justin Thomas, I feel bad for because I think JT is like the epitome of an awesome Ryder Cup guy.
He wants it.
He lives for the team stuff. He's had a good record. He obviously, like at Bama when he was there, they were really good. Like he loves the team environment. I think he embraces. He talks about the Ryder Cup and references it throughout the year. Like I think he is the epitome, and I think probably the majority of the team actually is. But on any team, if you've only got a team of 12, like you do in the Ryder Cup, and even if you've got 4 or 5 maybe guys that like have a little bit of a bad apple sense to them in the Ryder Cup, it affects the entire thing because it hurts the parent, it hurts the vibe, it hurts the team room, it hurts little everything.
Everybody that's played a team sport knows that.
Exactly.
And
it takes one guy.
If you ever even coached like, a younger youth team and you have a bad apple on your team or like there's just it just makes everything so difficult to get people stressful. To pull together. I know it really changes the whole atmosphere in the room. And then there's like cliques and people are working better with others and don't like, it just like erodes the whole team vibe. And yeah, it sucks. Like nobody on our side wants that. And now we're all rooting obviously for the U.S. and we obviously, all 4 of us hope that they pull through, of course, because we're Americans.
Oh, I would like to see the team rally as a unit and win for
I got a lot of
decades
tweets saying we've been like easy on them, but that's like we're at Bandon. You know what I mean? Like when we get to Whistling Straits, it's gonna get
Wish
contentious.
I was there.
It's gonna get contentious. I mean, we haven't forgotten that you're not rooting for the United States of America.
It's terrible. I mean, it's terrible.
All
we'll
things considered.
Yeah, it's nice, relaxing.
Like,
We've got Zen-like water behind
right
us.
Now being like, let's go. Like, stop, bro. It's like, let's just be a team.
Let's go Blues. No matter who they trade, give away, we're still Blues fans. Yeah,
we're Trent still. To give his
you guys are currently channeling your negative feelings towards these horrible Ryder Cup stories that are coming out towards me, which is the reason that I'm on this point.
About,
is because
the fact that Europe doesn't have like egos, like Rory McIlroy's probably got like one of the bigger egos in golf because he's Rory fucking McIlroy. But like for some reason, none of his quotes get out because I don't know. There's like he's just like he's not dumb enough to go out and say like, well, like I'm the best and I like. Like
or maybe he sets it aside, and that's why they win all the time.
Right. Like I just don't. Like,
I think
that's what
happens.
Like,
our egos on Europe, though, is my point. Like these guys are all fucking
right, but they put them aside for the team, which is nice. Right, I will say, without question, the European team has shown to be a team much more than U.S. has ever dreamed. Like in France, it was pathetic.
Yeah, it was
pathetic.
What do you think about the Brooks stuff?
Well, the thing we get stuck with this Brooks thing is that we always say don't criticize someone for being honest because that's how they become guarded and we don't get any good quotes. So it's good that Brooks is being honest, but I don't see that he like needed to do a full-fledged article about it. Like this is not going to go over well. And I think Azinger's right. Like I think if you don't want to do this, then don't do it. The flip side of that is nobody who automatically qualifies is going to come out and say, I don't want to play for my country. Like I'm just not going to do that. And nobody's going to relinquish their spot. So I don't know what they do, but I know that these quotes didn't need to come out now.
Right, but I also would say on the honesty thing, and I've seen a lot of people be like, oh, all golf Twitter demands and wants players to be more honest, but then when they are, they get buried. You are going to be held against what you say just because you're honest. Like if you come out and you're like, I'm racist, I hate a certain race of people. Everyone can't be like, well, he's honest. That's awesome.
Right, exactly.
You're a shit.
I honestly think all of you reporters are pieces of fucking shit.
Right. You are free to say whatever you want, but then we are also free to have opinions about those comments.
Correct. So cool. We'll give him credit for being honest. Great. But, like, you're also held to what you said. It's not just that he didn't please people with what he said. It's not like what he said you were going to respond to.
Right,
And
Rory's super honest. It's one of our favorite things about him. He
Right.
comes out, talks out against the PGA Tour. He'll always be he'll be the guy that will speak on behalf of the players, but he's not saying these bad things about the Ryder Cup, which was my point before. It's like Rory has opinions. Rory definitely is like a individualistic type of player, like Brooks is. Like he is. He's Rory fucking McIlroy.
You walked through that syllable by
sorry.
syllable.
I know I could barely get through that.
But he speaks about like game improvements. He speaks about things that are good for the game.
Like,
not
I'm
just
sure
like,
at a pub, Rory's gonna be like, "Yeah, fuck the Ryder Cup," like to his buddy or something. You don't think so? He's the same type of killer,
I don't think
individualistic golfer as
right,
the other
but
guy.
yeah, but he's a killer, and in this sense, in order to kill, you're on a team sport. And you're rooting
it's easier
for your
because they're
buddies.
winning. Like winning cures everything too. It's like we're all expecting these guys. Like everyone's like, oh, like Kisner said that they should go bowling and they should play fucking pool and go to the bar. And like we're acting like Europe like does that right now. Because he and Poulter have these guys at his house.
Let me ask you this: how do the Islanders talk about their team and their coaching in the methodical, pretty fucking hands-on style that they are required to have
Frankie.
that the other teams don't?
No, I agree. He's gonna make my point not. Good.
It's not good.
They all buy in.
Change
They
the
don't go to the bar. They
Answer
don't go
this
to the
question with a question.
They don't go to the bar and be like,
I know.
yeah, we're not allowed to go out. We're not allowed to go get shit, and that's fucking dog shit. No, every single one of them is like, yeah, it's awesome because we win.
I get that, and I'm just saying they get the benefit of the doubt for a lot of the things that we're saying anti-U.S. team, where like they don't have this, they don't have that. Like I do think there are guys on the U.S. team that have that, and the reason we're just blanketing over the U.S. team is like they're not a team, they don't have camaraderie, they don't have it, they're not buying in. Like dude, like 10 out of the 12 guys are buying in, they're all in, they want to win, they're young, they have 6 rookies in the Ryder Cup, they want to fucking win. We're acting like there's like a brouhaha at fucking Ian Poulter's house every single day with Team Europe, that like Rory McIlroy is inviting everyone to Ireland and they're like slapping each other on the ass with Oars and Alps powder. It's like not happening. Like where are these pictures and these videos of these guys like bonding? They're not, because they beat the shit out of us. We're like, oh, those guys love each other, they're hugging. Yeah, they hug because they fucking won.
Well, after we lost too, it was like Fleetwood and Molinari were in bed together and they did that like funny joke that went viral and the whole thing. Like nobody on the American side, we just don't have that. And I
lost.
Right. No, I know. But like we're hoping until this point.
Egg, in my opinion.
Right. We're hoping at this point, like we're starting to have something. Maybe they're coming together. The Brooks it was just a setback of that feeling. It was just like you want to have faith. You want to have belief that we're moving in the same direction. And then the Koepka thing was like, no, I'm on this island over here. And like as long as I shoot 63 and win or lose, like I'm fine because I shot 63. Or like that's not it.
Well, let me read you a couple more comments from another player on the United States American
I feel
team.
like these are
a guy
good
named
vibes.
Bryson
Can we start
DeChambeau.
doing
Well,
research?
you're reading the two
Right,
fucking
right,
lunatics
right,
here.
right.
All
Who-
year, these two guys have been a
Frankie
problem.
did say to his
Who
point,
says-
10 to 12. So like we know who the two are.
Who said
His hands are a problem.
reference to his preparation, what he's getting ready for the World Long Drive. He said, "My hands are wrecked from it."
I mean, but
People
these
don't realize how difficult
should just
long
be
drive
benched all
really
week.
is.
Just
in
like-
golf, it's the one thing where you can judge your accomplishments by a number, not necessarily by going out and playing
Potential.
golf, because you can catch a sprinkler head or catch a bad break or bad wind. On Flight Scope, you can see the ball speed number, and when you obtain a ball speed number, it's so different,
don't care.
unique. It's like a shot putting new record number. You're trying to find that full potential to break through.
Who
I
cares?
remember when
This guy.
I hate that guy.
when
Yeah,
it,
agreed.
when it
I hate
came
them
out
both.
that
I hate them both.
he was
Yeah,
going
me too.
right. Oh,
Boom,
me
boom.
too.
Get rid
They
of him.
both stink. But when it came out that
Sorry.
Bryson was going to be participating in the World Long Drive the Monday
was our
after the
fear.
Ryder Cup, I remember my opinion was that I'm not going to jump down the guy's throat because I don't think it's that big of a deal if he doesn't start making comments and putting videos up of himself training for the World Long Drive. But now that he's saying my hands are wrecked,
And all his videos
to his
are that.
to his, I'm gonna try and back him up a little bit, because he also said like all those things that are coming out on his Instagram, I think today or yesterday, he said this is all in preparation for the Ryder Cup. I'm not changing. He's like, what I'm doing right now is like me revving up for what I want to do at the Ryder Cup. So like,
It's
you
hard
have
to believe that.
It is hard to believe it, but also it's hard to believe that this guy
Do you
like is in
genuinely
that
believe-
garage hitting the amount of balls he's been hitting for the
Do you
last
think-
year.
He hasn't left the garage. According to social media, he has not left the garage and he's hitting. For
Do you
last
think
month.
Bryson would rather win the Ryder Cup or individually win the World Long Drive contest?
I think maybe if he had a second to think about it, about what it's going to do for his life, he would say Ryder Cup in a fucking like he would be like, "Oh my god, that's like I need that."
So but I think he'd rather be part of a 12-person team where he's one of 12 that wins the Ryder Cup and he's just one of the 12, or he individualistically wins the World Long Drive on his own.
I think if you asked him now, he'd probably be like, "Oh, like the World Long Drive." I think at the Ryder Cup, he'd get sucked in and be like, "This is going to be amazing."
I think if they ask him now, he would say Ryder Cup. I would hope
because
so,
of the PR, but like genuinely,
genuinely in his heart of hearts.
Ooh, that's different.
I think once he gets to the Ryder Cup, he's going to realize how big this is going to be for his career and like how awesome it's going to be.
I agree with that. You get caught up in the pageant, like you at Jay Leno.
Yes. It was Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
I cried when
the Roots.
The
Nothing
Roots played and Jimmy Fallon came out. The Avengers were there that day.
Yeah, I think this team, the egos are insane. So I think genuinely he wants to
Also,
win
like,
the
let's
World
start
Long
reading
Drive.
quotes from Tony Finau and fucking Justin Thomas. Like, I'm a Team USA guy. I'm done with all the negative fucking comments from these two guys that are trying to. Like, the media wants there to be negative United States golf team
I agree with that.
press. And
I agree with
they're
that.
harping on these two guys. Like, go talk to Tony Finau, Scotty Scheffler, like Xander Schauffele, all these guys. That like, where are these guys that want to play?
We need a
Justin
leader to
Thomas.
come out and like stick his neck out.
Right.
And, like, and that Stricker or somebody.
Which has been the issue. The leadership sucks. That, in my opinion, has been the issue.
It's like the media's fault too, right? Like they're going after these guys with these questions and these long form Golf Digest interviews where, like, I mean, Brooks, like, you said every hot button word you could possibly didn't have to. Like, who in the right mind would say things like, "I shoot this score. I don't care what the other guy shoots." That's insane to say a week before the Ryder Cup.
It would be very interesting if Stricker got to pick the full team. Who is actually on?
Instead of the guys who qualify,
right? I don't know if
Think it'd be any different?
I think it'd be a discussion.
Think they leave Bryson off?
I just think it's got to be a discussion.
I bet the guys
Pretty interesting take. I
like
that.
maybe Brooks and them might even hit him up and be like, "I'm like not that into this."
And
Like,
that
leave
would
me
be
off.
amazing.
Like the Olympics.
That would
Right,
be amazing.
where you're just kind of
Right.
like,
Yeah, true.
I'm not that into it.
right.
And that would be the team I think would probably perform better.
It would be. I think it would definitely be a discussion of which guys do I want on this
Do
team.
you think DJ wants to be there? He didn't want to be in the Olympics.
I do actually.
I would
when-
hope so.
When we met him at the Taylor, I was so amazed at how glued into events he was.
He's
and
competitive.
beating others and just like.
Yeah.
And I think he's a guy that gels with others like
Yeah.
easily and naturally.
Except for
Sure.
Brooks.
Yeah, but like he's naturally gifted. So I think like. I think he played basketball as a kid, I believe, and I don't know. I have a belief
Got
that
Wayne
I think
Gretzky as a father-in-law.
Right.
so-
I would
pretty good.
say for 51 weeks of the year, I think Brooks and Bryson genuinely don't care that much if they win the Ryder Cup. I think that week, like Frankie said, they get lost in the sauce a little bit. You get caught
I
up in
agree.
the pageantry. It's really exciting. They want to win in that moment. I think 51 weeks of the year, they're like, yeah, I'm going to play in a team event. It'll be fun. It'll be cool. But I don't think they genuinely
I think
care that much.
Justin
if they win.
Thomas
That's
has
too
it
bad.
circled on his
Agreed.
calendar for
I
2
agree with
years.
that.
Yep.
I agree
4
with that.
years.
It's like
6 years.
we have a buddies trip that's now we just hit our 10th year, and it's I
8
want
and
to
1.
beat I want to beat those guys. Yeah, we don't remember the score from year one, so it's 8-1 after 10 years. But like I want to genuinely beat those guys every year. And now obviously I'm not a PGA golf. I don't make bajillions of
You don't
dollars.
have
but
another
like,
event to compare it to.
right. But
True,
like
kind of, but
Well, the Bandon fucking travel series.
exactly. But I just like getting behind that team atmosphere that
yeah.
is just the best.
You don't need to make an argument for
right,
wanting
of course,
to play
in this
for
room.
a team.
Right.
I mean, come on. What are
I
we
know.
doing here?
We're team
I know.
guys.
Brooks is the only guy on the planet right now making the argument that's going
Right.
to be difficult to transition into a team sport.
The guy who wants to be in a team sport more than anybody on
Oh,
the
he
PGA Tour.
wants
He
to
wants
wear
to be considered like the guy that swallowed his ego and took like a shot or took a injury and then battled through it so the team could win, and then there's a parade for the city.
Right.
He was like the linebacker. He was the
Yeah.
quarterback. He wants that more than anything, but he wants it because of like him. Like he wants it to be him. Like he doesn't seem to grasp the team thing.
What I don't like is he's making excuses for why if they lose. He's already letting us know 2 weeks before that, oh yeah, if we lose, I let you guys know last Monday that it's really hard for us to transition from this like individual sport where I'm trying to win a major and I'm trying to go in there and I have my own process. I told you guys this last Monday, like, yeah, it's going to be really hard for us to gel. It's like, dude, why are you doing that? Just fucking go and gel. Go gel. Go shut up.
Also, just lie.
Right.
In that interview, be like, I can't.
We asked you to be honest, but if you're gonna be that dumb, just lie.
Well said. That's
this-
the best point on this podcast is that.
In this instance, when it comes to teams, you should lie. You should literally publicly say, I'm really fired up. I love these boys. We all like.
That's why
we
you have a
a
PR
great
coach.
watch
contact.
a
That's why
hockey
you have a
interview one
PR
time
coach.
after a playoff game, and
Bill
like a guy,
Belichick interview.
or just like or like all
Right.
right, like the guy didn't score on a breakaway, and they're interviewing him. Oh, what happened today? And he's just like, the team just like, we battled hard, and we'll get him tomorrow. Like, you don't think that guy wants to be honest and be like, yeah, our team fucking sucked today. I was the one that I was the one that scored the goal in the second
Right.
period. It shouldn't be on me right now.
Or a
I did
goalie-
everything.
A goalie, when
Right.
a goalie has like 51 saves and they
Right.
lose like 1-0.
No,
or
but they
something,
just lie.
He
They're like-
never is like, yeah, our offense sucked. They couldn't get it done.
Right.
He's always like, yeah, it's a team effort. We battled hard. We'll get them tomorrow night.
Right, and it's a layup if he wants to view everything through like a Bryson versus Brooks thing. It'd be a layup to be like, no, I'm the team guy. I'm coming here for it to be a team, and Bryson's the one who is training for the world long drive competition and all that shit. Instead, he's just like,
Which is preposterous.
Thank you.
it is.
I said
I
originally.
mean, no, but our stance, and like we've all faded both on Bryson and Brooks, is that as long as it doesn't really come into play of the Ryder Cup, it's totally fine. But his last post
coming into play.
His
How could
last
you have
posts
thought that it
are
wouldn't?
front and center.
This
and
guy's been
I
doing
expect-
this for
ridiculous.
years.
But that's not your stance of why you're not on the Americans. You're not on the Americans.
No, but
'cause you're not
I'm
loyal.
talking specifically about the Bryson thing. Whereas when I
Yes.
first brought it up immediately,
It's a problem.
and I was like, this is a problem. Like the fact that he's going to do the world-long drive the Monday after the Ryder Cup.
I expect more from them than they expect from themselves, I guess, because they just don't.
Wow.
They don't.
Wow.
Bryson is just because I expected Bryson not to do the world long drive the Monday after the Ryder Cup, and I expected Brooks to not say stupid shit in the Golf Digest
Right.
article.
I mean, everybody, like, he's got to have a PR coach.
We are a media outlet, as much as we don't want to
We are.
see that. We need to start honing in on the 10 other guys that like are normal human beings and they want to fucking win this thing because that's
There's
our
some good
only.
quotes I can read.
Who do you think's our guy?
Positive
Like,
quotes.
well,
Probably
quickly, like,
JT.
I think it's
Is it
Justin
JT?
Thomas is Captain America.
is it?
Yes.
Because, like, Rory's there. Like, he's the guy.
It's Justin Thomas.
Who's our
Just-
who's the alpha on that team?
Like it should be
Yeah.
Not
it should be
Brooks or
DJ,
Bryson.
but he's aloof a little bit.
who?
Like Dustin
Yeah,
Johnson.
he's not going to be like
No.
Justin Thomas.
articulate
JT.
enough. He
Bro,
just
when we
doesn't
were
care.
in
I just think
Australia-
he's smart enough that he's like, I don't need to get into
When we were in
this.
Australia for the President's Cup, JT was like walking and watching every single guy that was finishing up behind him. I have that picture of him and the needle, Zach Johnson, like sitting down on the green, watching guys finish up, like going crazy, fist bumping, like they were into it. Like that's a guy that is going to try and win for his country. He's into it. He, like you said, he's always wanted to probably play on team sports. He's been amazing at golf his whole entire life, but he loves team sports. He loves hockey. He loves baseball. He loves fucking college football more than anyone, more than Jake Bass. And it's just he's looked at me like he's gonna murder me. He
Which is the only way he ever looks at you.
he's just the guy. It's got to be Justin Thomas.
It's got to be. It's got to be.
I'll read you a text I think that supports that, which is September 8th, which was when the U.S. Ryder Cup picks were announced. And I declared I was going to root for Europe. He texted me and said, "You trying to get me to delete you with 7 question marks?"
He's our
Right.
guy.
He's all in.
Do you think it's him or Spieth, though?
I think it's him.
It's him.
Oh, I mean, it's a pretty good pull. I mean, yeah, I think it's him still.
I think it's him too.
I think Spieth's got more vocal fire, though, than JT does, I feel like, in my eyes.
We're
If it
like-
weren't for
it's
Speed's
a-
downturn, it would be.
Right.
But like he's been a little MIA for like 2 years.
Totally. But
I think
he's
JT
got
also
more,
gets more respect from the guys too, because Spieth's so up and down.
Right.
Say again, do you think JT does?
I think he gets more
Yeah.
respect from the team.
Okay.
You're not gonna listen to like a Spieth who's like in the corner talking to himself a little bit
About,
about
his
like his
ball
putts
flight.
and his
Right,
ball
right,
flight.
right.
Like,
JT
JT's a
seems
little
to have
calm.
more poise.
JT can control a golf locker room. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, I
Yes.
agree with that.
I think it's close.
And
I
him
think-
and Tiger are so close. They got that going
Right.
on.
I'm not saying the guys don't respect Spieth
it's
because
like
I think they
almost,
do.
I wish like Stricker or like even like Wood, like somebody came out and was like,
Freddie.
They are
Freddie Boom
saying
Boom.
good
Boom
quotes.
Boom.
Is what I mean. They are. There's
No, I
gotta
know,
be good
but,
quotes
like-
from Steve Stricker. There's got to be like positive.
is there anything post this?
But it's not about. We don't care about the
Koepka?
quotes to the
Just,
media.
like,
we
shut
care about
up.
him handling the guys.
Right.
And he
That's
may
what we care
be. He
about.
may
Right.
be. He may be. We don't know the future.
Automatic ball return. Okay, we're talking about the net return. Frank, you got one of these, right?
I do have a net return. Are we
You love
talking
this
about it
thing?
right now?
Oh yeah.
It's fantastic. The only thing is my dad is not happy that I'm taking up all the grass in the backyard. We have a little bit of grass. I've
$50 a sod.
never mowed it. Remember that?
Yeah,
you
remember
never cut
Um,
the grass?
I've never cut grass. I've wanted to because I love the idea of it.
Why not?
We've just never had like enough.
I would
grass.
argue if you're the kind of guy that had cut grass, you wouldn't have gotten 7 injuries on this trip.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I'm soft, but we have a little bit of grass in the front, a little bit of grass in the back. We have a pool that takes up a lot of the grass, and we've always just had like a landscaping company that just comes in, does it for a minute, and goes out.
That's nice.
That is nice.
Yeah, I mean, there's literally nothing for them to do.
Tell me about the net
Nassau
return.
County. Net return I have on the little patch of grass. It is as good of a invention with what it does as you can possibly think of. Like, it's just a net and poles, and somehow, some way, they've figured out a way for a ball to come in at 200 miles an hour to just softly
ball that
sit in
almost
the middle.
killed Jake
Yes,
Bass
a ball to just sit in the middle of this net and slowly drop and roll right back to your foot. It never comes back hot. It never misses the net. It never goes through the net. It's as good of a product as you can possibly ask for when you're getting a practice net.
And there's nothing better than being able to just hit balls, swing, feel it. And the batter always knows. Even if it's a mat,
right.
the batter always
You feel
knows.
it. You know if it's a pole. You know what you hit.
It's so
I actually
reliable.
found a New York City apartment that had a small outdoor space. And I was like, I think I could fit this net return out there. And
Definitely.
anyways, somebody outbid me or something on the apartment, so I didn't get it. But
Yeah.
that net return is
So-
it's incredible. I set it up, and it's seamless and easy, and you just
Set up in
you can
5
whack
minutes
it-
or less.
There's
Yeah.
a little video. They're like, all right, purple goes to purple, green goes to green, yellow goes to yellow. Unfortunately for me, I think the colors got mixed up, and it took me about 25 minutes. I mean, I was looking at it. I said, if green, I said to my family, they were all like outside, like doing barbecue stuff. I said, if green goes to green, it doesn't go up. So
And you just-
I'm
I
making
could
the
see you
executive
losing
decision. I
your
said,
mind.
I'm making the executive decision to go brown to green because what I'm looking at, this pipe has to be what they thought was green. It has to be. I was
boy.
looking at the paper, looking at the video, looking at the pipe, and I'm like, it's the pipe. It's supposed to be green. So I did it and it worked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Used by 2020 U.S. Open champion Bryson DeChambeau, who we talked about a lot on the show, and many others on the LPGA, PGA Tour. The only golf net in the world that automatically returns the ball back to you. Multi-sport net can be used for soccer, lacrosse, shout to Lurch, baseball, and even hockey. Automatic ball return sets up in 5 minutes or less. Handles ball speeds over 225 miles an hour with a 250,000 shot guarantee.
Think you're gonna hit that many in your lifetime?
My gut says no.
200.
I can't do math that quickly. Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. Play a lot of golf.
That's,
Use code FOREPLAY10, FOREPLAY 10, for 10% off all products at checkout.
No, you're not going to do 250,000.
no shot, dude.
www.thenetreturn.com, according to Jake Bass. FOREPLAY 10, you get 10% off all products at checkout. That's FOREPLAY 10, 10% off all products at checkout. 250,000 shots, like on a golf course, or just hitting a golf ball?
Are you crunching
Hitting a
numbers
golf
on
ball.
Definitely.
On average, professional golfers hit about 500 golf balls per day when they're not playing in a tournament.
All right. Well, what?
We're not professional
Yeah.
golfers.
Well, I know. I'm sorry. I mean, that's, like,
Just saying, like, if you
but
hit,
my argument
Dude.
for that would be if that gets to 250,000 or doesn't, then we don't even come close.
do 250,000 divided by 83, which is Riggs's maybe average.
Oh, I'm going to hit way more than that in my lifetime. Way more than 200. Because I just did 82. Okay.
Hold on. So
Hopefully I did that math right.
250,000 divided by, what did I say, 82 or 83?
83.
83 is 3,112.
Let me say this. 82 shots in a round,
Yeah.
right? Times 100 rounds a year
Yep.
is 8,200 shots.
Yep.
Times 40 years.
Wow.
You're doing 100 rounds of
For
golf
40
a
years.
year,
Jesus.
only taking 82
when you're
shots.
25 until you're, and that's not
65?
counting any range shots. So from when you're 25 until you're 65, that's not that crazy. And you're at 328,000 right there.
That's
so
crazy.
You still have a.
Oh, well, I guess the net return, too, is just obviously
Yeah.
hitting practice range shots into the net.
That's what I'm saying.
So that thing's this isn't from the company, but it's a lifetime guarantee.
Yeah,
It's a lifetime guarantee. Yeah, I don't think you're doing 100 rounds of golf. I mean,
That's
maybe,
crazy. I
Yeah,
gotta get
100 rounds
this
of golf
podcast
is a
business.
fucking
Right.
lot of rounds of
Dude,
golf.
I think too when you get older, you play more. Like you're retired. Like you play all the time. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play every fucking day.
I mean, potentially, if I ever start a family and I, get another significant other that joins me in this mission, I think golf has got to drop down a little bit.
Not for me. I don't give
Dude,
a fuck.
bro, yeah. To keep that average, and now did that average get you to 250,000? Did you do the math?
330,000. So I'm saying even if you dropped it down, and that's not including any range shots. Come on.
Right, but I guess what?
Not even close.
How many range shots have you hit this week? I would say
200?
Oh, okay.
Right? Like, we've been in the range a good amount.
Yeah, we're not good
I
at
missed
math.
a couple of those.
30,
I would
40,
say
50 balls?
50 or 60.
That's interesting. I'm not going to do it.
No.
You don't think so?
Certainly
No.
not into the net.
No,
The
dude.
net is so safe. But
Bro,
in terms of your
I'm
lifetime.
playing 30 rounds a year.
Right.
Right. Our numbers are way less than Riggs.
I mean, hundreds.
We did our numbers the other day.
Astronomical for me, right? Because, like, in New York, you got to think, how many of those days are unplayable?
Supposedly, there's 105 days of rain. Is there not?
Yeah, someone DM'd us that there's 105
Which
days or something
really
like that
hurt our Seattle.
of
argument.
rain in New York, which to me was
Look,
fucking
Seattle weather's
bullshit.
So
There's not 105 days of rain in New York. I don't
I-
care
I
what
agree.
Jared,
fucking
get in here.
stat
You're
says.
from Seattle, right?
You're from
How much
Seattle? How have you
Get
not
in the mic.
punched me
Speaking to
yet?
the mic. Speaking to the mic.
I got a bunch of DMs saying,
Please.
like, if I ever show up to Seattle, they're going to
is
murder
so
me.
wrong. Like, it's so wrong. Like,
What do you mean it's wrong, dude? You see the sun here so much more than you see in Seattle, no?
sure, but the rain thing, it's not a thing. Like, it doesn't rain there. Like, it rains, yes, but the rain's not aggressive. It's very light.
Would you argue that like a cloudy, misty day that may not like signify any rain is just like a rainy day? Like to me, like that's still like a rainy day. Like dark cloud cover, like you're not gonna see the sun at all. It's like kind of just foggy. Like that's like a rainy day.
You see the sun more than like even on a cloudy morning, you're gonna see sun at some point of the day. Like,
Are you not gonna agree that there's like a thing in Seattle that like people are like it's like gloomy?
No,
and
dude.
they're-
People just no.
Really?
No. So if you're
There's
like,
308 cloudy days a year in
Yes,
Seattle.
I understand that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. There's only
But
365 days in a year.
That's
So-
insane.
Those
Do you understand
308
that?
days that are cloudy also have probably
Do you know
like
what percentage
250
308
days
is
of sun
of
also.
365?
Yeah, but
I guess what
the
constitutes
sun's
a cloudy
also
day?
coming out
I
at
don't
the
know,
end of the
but
day. Like,
every time I've been there, it rains.
So
and
there's
it's
so
cloudy.
so
It's
so
not-
all the talk of like it's a depressing state and like everyone
No,
that goes there like
there are
it's fucking miserable,
forks.
and you must suck if you're from
There's
there.
Like
what?
if you're in the Olympic Forks,
Yeah.
Washington, if you're like on the Olympic Mountains area, absolutely depressing, like miserable. Like the Washington coast, the west coast, awful, like
Okay.
absolutely awful. The Puget Sound is fucking unreal,
right.
like unreal. And the summers there, best place in the entire world to be. In the
All
summer,
right.
not even close.
Every time I've ever been there, it rains.
You're making good.
I'm just telling you.
Hey,
Like,
listen, it's
I
your
lived there
home.
for 20 years.
It's your home. Yeah, it's your home.
20 years, like I know
I've heard
You
it's
do know
beautiful
more
in the
than
summer.
us.
it is.
I've
It's
heard that.
the best.
I will
I've only
give
been
you
there
that.
in the
You know
shoulders.
more than us about Seattle. I will give that to you.
That's big. That's big of you.
That is. It's as much as you're gonna get from me.
Normally, when we
That's
talk
fair.
shit about a city, we
That's
don't
fair.
then have someone walk into the room that
From
we're
the
in
city.
from
That
that
was a
city.
tough break.
I just
That's
want to say, like,
You made your case pretty very well, I
Okay.
would say.
I heard the show the other day, and I had to make a point.
You did
Uh,
Seattle
like,
proud.
Hey, you know where we're going next year for Barstool Classic, I think, in the PNW, as they call it, Gamble Sands.
Oh boy.
You ever been there?
It's about an hour from where my wife and her family live. Yeah,
That's not what I asked.
Brewster. Yeah.
Have you been there?
Yes.
Is it awesome?
Yeah. I mean,
David McClay Kid?
McClay Kid.
Yeah.
It's a very playable course.
Unbelievable.
Very playable.
I heard it looks sick.
Very.
It's in,
sick.
like, Central
And
Washington,
Columbia
right?
River. Yes. And so when you get west or east of the Cascade Mountains,
Mm-hmm.
like unbelievable terrain, dude. Like, I think Seattle might like one of the prettiest places in the world, but when you get east, of
Except for all the
mountains-
rain and clouds.
yeah, it's stunning, like absolutely stunning. And Central Washington might be some of the
Gamble
best
Sands
places.
looks sick. So that's a Columbia River it's on?
Columbia River.
That, like,
The
weaves
gorge,
right next
the
to it?
gorge, yep.
And it's got sweet views of it and stuff?
Unreal. Yes.
Putting
Oh,
course and a par 3 course?
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Talk to us
You're
about
gonna-
those hiccups you had today.
Oh, dude.
What was going on with that shit?
I think
I had
Han-
enough shit going on with my knee, and I had to look over you. You're like puking on the fucking
Dude,
fairway.
Hannah
We
might
were
have
in one
saved
last
He
my
wouldn't even give
life.
me like clubs. I was like he was like walking away. I'm like, what's going
couldn't
on with this guy?
talk.
He couldn't speak. He literally couldn't
couldn't
speak.
talk.
I've never seen hiccups take over somebody where they couldn't function.
So that happened last. Like we were hanging out last night. That started last night when I got.
Did it
home,
really?
Yes. I got home after Brad drove us home. I was laying in the driveway.
Shout out to Brad, dude.
Shut,
Our
dude.
sober driver last night.
Absolute. Yeah. Shout out to Brad.
Drive sober, get pulled over.
Yeah.
We had a sober driver last night. Fuck, absolute hero, this guy.
So you're laying in the driveway.
I also
I'm
just
laying in the
saw. I just saw a
driveway.
tweet, by the way. There's like a company on Long Island that's gonna now drive your car home.
Nice.
I think that's a fucking unbelievable private.
We have something like that in Jersey.
It's pretty cool.
2 guys that drive.
Yes.
That's what it's called.
That's what it's called?
It's unreal.
And now I have to
and
give
what
these
they do
people a
is they
shout
come,
out.
they pick you up, and it's them and their buddy. That one gets out of the car, they drive the car. It's just a perfect service. So yeah, shout out to those guys.
There was a car service back home that would tow your car home.
No,
Yes.
no way,
Swear to God.
no way.
Call and be like, my car's here. I'm not going to drive it home. So if you could tow that sucker home so I can wake up and it's there, that'd be ideal. And they'd do it for you.
That's just terrific. I mean, that's a good service.
This fucking picture.
I agree.
Lurch, you're like biting your lip almost. Right in Trent's face.
I've got a weird. I think I got too much sun without enough like chapstick or any like sunblock. If
But
we're
I'm saying,
being
it
honest.
looks like you're about to eat Trent.
Well, he looks like
in
it's a
this
good
video.
tasty treat. If we're
Here we
being
go.
honest.
Long Island Company offers designated driving in your own car. Daniel Cantelmo and John Yansage, founders of Late Night Chauffeurs in Babylon on Long Island. Late Night Chauffeurs.
Those last names, you wish those were easier.
Yep. All right, so
You're laying in your
talk to us
driveway.
about your hiccups real quick before we.
We gotta go get dinner.
Yeah, we gotta get dinner.
We're an hour late already.
No,
we're half hour late.
It's just
That's
something
okay.
that's every once in a while like comes out. I can't
Okay.
stop it.
Hard to
Today was
answer
a
there.
bad day. It was
Yeah.
bad timing, but I mean, it was at least 3 holes.
Yeah, it was bad.
I mean, honestly, like you're right. Like I couldn't even club you. I couldn't even talk.
couldn't
The
talk.
first
to
couple were
I was like-
outrageous. And I mean, he's
You
our
had to
guy.
time
So I
your
was like,
shots. You had to time your shots.
I was like, is this going to continue? Because all I can think about is
Yeah.
these hiccups.
It was hectic too
Dude,
because
I
I can
couldn't-
barely walk. I was like, dude, I'm dying, and here you're like, what's going on? I was like, what's happening to you,
Yeah,
man?
yeah, yeah.
At one point, I'm like, are you
We
going to
gotta
worse
get
than
our
me
caddy
today?
healthy here
did.
before
You
we
asked
can
me.
continue.
Yeah.
Who's
You're like, I'm
worse off,
fine.
me or you?
And then Dylan, who the fuck are you going to root for in the U.S. Open and then the Ryder Cup? Fucking, you're Canadian, aren't you?
Yeah, so as a Canadian, I mean, I always grew up rooting for Europe, always. I
You're a
mean, I was talking
loser.
to Talking Reeves about this the other day.
Is there American hate there, or what is that?
Yeah, big time. I mean, so it's like,
Why?
I mean,
This guy stinks, dude.
It's
no,
from
because-
hockey, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think probably mostly from hockey. I mean, you grew up rooting for Team Canada, and then like, you just played
Were you
in the States.
athletic?
And, yeah, I grew up playing like everything pretty much. Yeah,
Played a little puck.
played a lot of hockey. Yeah, played a lot of hockey growing up. But yeah, I mean, I was
Played
rooting for
D1
Team
college
Europe.
hockey, that's right.
I was rooting for Team Europe. And
Do you wish that
Europe's
there's,
been
like,
smoking you guys?
Do you
so
wish
it's been
Canada
fun.
could get involved with this amazing tournament that we're going to, and like, you know,
Nah, I'm indifferent on
you're
that.
okay with your country just being left out?
Yeah, for sure.
Who would they feel? Like Mike Weir?
No, I mean Mackenzie Hughes.
That's
is
who they
de-
put in the President's Cup.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, but like besides that,
Mackenzie Hughes is decent.
I
Corey
should,
Connors.
to
I
be
mean,
Corey
fair, I'll
Connors.
read some of
Connors,
the
yeah.
positive quotes.
Okay.
So this from Xander Schauffele, who says, "We understand how much it means to Captain Stricker, how much it means having it in his home state. I think you're going to see a very cohesive team that's playing for each other and understands the bigger picture." Sorry, this is Harris English. We are all a team. And then
Harris English is kind of like a veteran, even though he's a rookie. Like people
Definitely.
will look up to that guy.
And then Xander Schauffele said, "Steve hasn't talked to us like we are rookies. He speaks to his team as one. There's a lot of team unity and playing for each other." Xander Schauffele told and said on this week's Golf Central podcast, "Steve Stricker expects us to be ready to compete. He expects everyone to show up on game day ready to go."
Fucking
There
awesome.
you go. I think we end on that.
If Rory said that, people would be like, "Oh, Europe's awesome."
We're going to be fine.
Yeah, we're gonna be
Team
fine.
USA is going to be just fine.
Europe's gonna smoke you guys. But
All
good
right,
luck.
Dylan.
Good luck.
All right, we're going to cut that out. No, we're not. But
Bandon Dunes tomorrow. I'm very excited.
We'll see if I can make it.
One of my favorite courses in the world. Frank, I'm rooting for you to get healthy. You have any plans?
Don't. Oh, I thought you were gonna do something mean. Oh, thank you so much.
I was gonna put it under your knee. I think the support should be directly under the knee.
I was thinking that, but I also like when you think of like elevation. I always thought it was supposed to be.
Yeah,
on
that's
that
for the ankle though. But like, if you want support for the knee, the pillow needs to be. Yeah, exactly.
Also, we can
Thanks.
get you a golf cart tomorrow.
Dylan McCarron.
See, that's huge news that I can
you
maybe get a golf cart
if
tomorrow.
you need a golf cart. We can
Okay.
Dylan McCarron
15.
and Jared. Last name is
Heeman.
Heeman.
It could also be spelled said Hyman.
So I want folks.
that's a guy who's heard that 10 million times in his life.
A lot of times.
These guys are great. These two are
If
awesome.
you come to Bandon, you can request caddies. Dylan
Yep.
McCarron.
As for
Jared
blind
Heeman.
Dylan and Hyman.
You're gonna have a blind caddy who's really fun, and a guy from Seattle who claims that Seattle doesn't rain.
Really
Florida
good caddies.
all the time,
Good guys to be to
Sunshine
experience this
State.
with. I mean, you're going. Are you going back to to up north?
Yeah, I'm flying out on the 19th, but
So we're
yeah,
your last loop here
for the season. Yeah,
for the season.
Yeah.
And you'll come back next year?
likely. Yeah,
Slightly?
likely.
Okay.
It
Needs
depends
to
on
be.
the COVID.
I mean,
restrictions.
Riggs did not like a couple lines that you had, so is that why you're taking vacation after this?
Yeah, no, I need a break, need a reset,
Yeah.
and we'll regroup.
Leaving the country.
Going back,
I gotta get the fuck out of here.
yeah, going back to school, so it's all good.
All right, man.
We
Good
appreciate
luck.
it, guys.
And then you'll be here, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't actually live here. I commute back and forth.
I found this out today.
from
Like we
Washington.
thought Dylan lived far away. He lives like 45 minutes. Like this is
Yeah, I drive,
truly a job. His wife is up in Seattle with her family.
yeah, I drive like 12 hours every time I come down here.
Wait. What? Hold on.
Yeah,
Hold
yeah,
on.
So
All
you
right,
knew
Lawrence,
you
give
had
me
a
some
loop
wine.
this
You
week
have more wine over
with
there?
us,
like-
and you
so like
drove down
100%.
12 hours to be here.
correct.
So
Yeah,
Start-
I actually
start
drove
at the
from
beginning.
Coeur d'Alene, Idaho to get
start at
here.
the beginning. So how many days a year do you caddy here?
Well, it was kind of up until about 6 months ago. I was here for, been here 5 years. Lived here for 4.5 solid. Last
You live in
six-
caddy housing or something?
I had a house in town. They sold it from.
So you met a girl and it ruined all of your
No,
your
no,
stuff.
no. We met in college.
Heard that one
No,
before.
She didn't ruin anything. In fact, she's
Okay.
fucking amazing. I
Okay.
don't know why she's with me.
Love's beautiful. Love is beautiful.
Yeah.
This is so nice.
Love is blind like Dylan.
But she's going back to school, and
Oh, so you're just being a
she-
great husband.
She lives in Washington, and I kind of commute back and forth and just
What a
make
guy.
the money here.
That's fucking awesome,
I
man.
might fucking cry on this podcast.
That's great.
That's beautiful.
So you're grinding, dude.
Yeah,
Dude, caddies love the
green
game.
grinder,
too, man.
baby.
Are you looping back home?
There's no looping out there. I mean, like, there's no looping anywhere else but
Were
here.
you selling
Like,
What are your
insurance? What do you do,
stretches? Like how when you come here, how long are you here for?
like 2 to 4 weeks.
2 to 4 weeks,
Yeah, and just go straight and just drive back.
And you just
And
FaceTime
then-
the wife a bunch?
and then will you do 2 to 4 weeks at home, and then is
Yep.
it that kind of rotation?
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
Really
I will
good.
say you do a hell of a job out in the course. Like I thought,
Thank you.
your
George
eyes.
hasn't made a putt the whole trip.
But that is not his fault. There was one time today where I was like, you know what? If you don't want to like watch me putt, you can just like, I'll just guess the reads,
Right.
and you can just look the other
He
way.
starts to, like, his
look at the
confidence
tee
level
box.
goes way down.
Oh,
watching
it was
you putt.
terrible.
Like, Jesus.
I mean, one time I was like, we're in our match. I was like, all right, this is like must make. I got like 12 feet. Like we can make this. It's just left edge. I saw that read too, which is not usual where I have the read and you have the read. Like usually I'm on the other side of the cup by a foot and you're like not even close. And it's like, all right, you're right. You were right. But this one I was like, this is amazing. I'm going to make this.
Dude, there was a point in the first match that we played where Frankie screamed out loud after a few of your different approach shots. He goes, how is this guy not on the PGA Tour? He's unreal. And then, no joke, less than an hour later, he goes, it's amazing that you are your handicap with how bad you putt.
Yeah, you waited for me off one green. You go, this is, and I looked at him before we started the match. I go, I don't think I'm going to make many. So be on that mindset that I'm going to make nothing, and then anything I make is a bonus.
Because you're the opposite of me. It's like because a lot of people have said like, oh, with your game, with your swing, Frankie,
Right.
like you're so good off the tee, you can hit long irons, but like you can't do anything with a wedge. You should be so much better.
Right.
I can't believe that you are as good as you are with how bad you are with a putter. Like,
Oh, it's a crime what you saw out there. I mean, the
like
time out
at the
there
end of the day, he's
today-
like, oh, I shot a 78. I'm like, but you missed everything.
right. There's times that I
also
walk
like-
off a golf course and I don't make a putt except what's given to me.
There's a
And
couple
I just-
78s that should be 66s for you.
Yeah, sometimes I paint greens and then I walk off and it's like, whew,
You kind of
Birdie turned it to double.
dude, you do like this forward press right before impact.
trying that.
And
You
then
gotta,
you like
no, you've been
de-loft
doing it for
the
you've been
putter.
doing it since I've like known you.
Yeah.
and you got to
And
stop
I
doing
Do this
it.
de-loft the
probably
putter.
right.
You de-loft the putter to like half a degree.
You watch Phil
doesn't-
Mickelson putt
doesn't
once
work
and you
with a
just do
spider.
it.
So
Oh, here we
I'm
go.
a D-lofter too. You can't do it with a spider.
Here we go.
It's gonna fuck with your. It's
Dude,
gonna
that's
fuck
what
with
your
putting.
putts are
So-
going
don't
like
think we should
8
talk about
feet
this.
past the hole.
no, I saw them all. They were flying.
No de-lofting with a spider.
I will say, well, to get back to the first point, yeah, I don't think you should look at my putt because I think I appreciate the read, and then you should just look away, and I'll just tell you the number when we're done. Because I think you lose confidence in me, which hurts.
No, never lose confidence.
Because there was a time today it was like left edge, and I think I pulled that thing by a foot.
No, of the 18 holes, how many times do you think you actually put the ball in the cup?
Yeah, it's usually pretty low. It's usually like
less than 5.
I think that over under is probably 5.5.
But that putt on 15 yesterday was unreal.
Yeah, no, that was sick.
That was pretty.
That was one
But
of the
again,
5.
if
That was shocking.
If we're gonna go to like what's after, each round, I would say my putts made in terms of total feet, is usually under 32 feet.
I'll give you a little more than that, but yes.
Right, but it's not a ton.
I've seen you make 2 putts over 10 feet this whole week.
Dude, I remember when I walked up that green, you were standing there with Trent and you were befuddled. You couldn't believe what you had seen for the first, 8 or 9 holes, whatever it was.
You'd go driver, piss missile, 5-iron, just 10 feet, and then we'd walk off with a bogey and lose the hole. I'm like, what's happening here? Like, I tied you and I dribbled the ball down the fairway.
Dude, it's a weird place to be in as your
over.
opponent. You're never out. No right. Every hole, we're like,
never out.
We're just got 8 feet for birdie. We're like, we're fine. We're looking good here. Trent.
Buddy, I got
Trent's
32
like, no, we
feet
both
for
got.
bogey. We're gonna win this
Trent's
hole.
like, no, I got a net par putt from 8 feet, and you've got a par putt from 6 feet. Lurch has 8 feet for birdie, and we're both we're looking good here.
Right. He's got you can't make that.
Right.
So it's just if he can nestle it.
The question is
and get a pickup.
Is he going to be able to make the next one?
Right.
That's the question.
No, there's no.
If I can say,
Sure.
you have made
Keep
a lot
it
of
nice,
next
though.
ones.
Yeah,
You actually have. No, I'm not even
Beginning
joking.
of the week, he was hot.
He's had a lot of next made putts.
Beginning of the week, these things were ripping by miles.
Dude, I mean, you made a lot of 5-footers even today.
I would
Right.
say your next putts were hot in day one.
I agree with that.
Especially day one.
Day one was not good.
No.
If you remember
your
correctly,
first putts
first
were
hole I blew
horrendous.
it by 16
Your first
feet.
putts were horrendous. The next one was
Your
like
next
I
one-
felt
Right,
like
but
kind
the
of confident
first,
in you
I think the
making,
first 3 whacks, I 3-putted.
I don't know. We're
Not
going in
the- not the
circles.
first
No one
one.
even knows what we're talking
No,
about.
no,
Let's
exactly.
go to
Yeah,
dinner.
yeah.
We'll
It's
see
a
the
mess.
video.
It's a
Let's go
mess.
eat dinner.
My
Let's
fucking
go have
knee.
dinner.
What's up,
Bandon
Doc?
Dune's
Get in my
awesome.
DMs.
Thank you so
Bandon
much.
Dunes is incredible.
Michael Koepka, awesome.
Chill
Dillon
over the
Jared,
wind.
you guys rock.
Yep.
This whole place is one of the best places in the world. We got Bandon Dunes tomorrow. We'll give the review of that on the next show. It'll be Ryder Cup week. We're going to be there. We got Barstool Classic in Cincinnati, Ohio, I think, on Monday. Is that right, Jake Bass? I don't even know where we're going. I think we're going to Cincinnati on Monday. Anyways, we got a big match this weekend. By the way, we're going to Las Vegas.
Yep.
Playing against Danielle Kang.
That's right.
So hopefully Frankie gets help for that. So there's a lot going on with the boys. We're going to go eat dinner. We'll be back on Tuesday.
If you come to Bandon, you got to ask for these guys, or if you're going to Cabot, you got to ask for Dylan. But you got to get this shit in writing. Make sure you get these guys. And you need fucking 2 weeks advance notice, I guess. He says, yeah.
We'll be back Tuesday. Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.